Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
You got the full Jerry Jones experience yesterday, so everything was weird and confusing and got totally misconstrued on social media, I think. But Jerry only has himself to blame. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Stop me if you've heard that one.
The full Jerry Jones experience involves the bus somehow. I
don't want to get on that
You just went
bus.
on a citywide tour on the Jerry Jones bus, basically, yesterday.
Yeah, no, I guess I'll take that back. I don't want the full Jerry Jones experience because I think a lot of those women probably signed NDAs. Anyway, I think we should keep it to the press conference from yesterday. No, I think we should talk about Micah Parsons because Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they were all talking about Micah Parsons. And Pearl, to be honest, and we'll spare our audience from having to listen to 55 minutes of Jerry Jones, a little Steven, and a little Brian Schottenheimer, but they were 99.9% complimentary of Micah Parsons. And then that sliver, because it's Jerry and because he can't help himself, or I don't know what, shooting from the hip, always has to add a little something to it. So, Manny, can we hear cut one right off the jump here, where Jerry Jones talking about Micah Parsons, and again, had been complimenting him all afternoon and has been complimenting him for months.
Why?
But then takes this swipe.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
Yeah, didn't need that, Jerry. Didn't need that as you're in a contract negotiation because you know that, first of all, he wasn't even correct in his facts. That's how much he's shooting from the hip on this one. So sideswiping Micah Parsons saying that he missed 6 games when he only missed 4, saying that Dak missed 2/3 of the season when he missed 8 games. It's just, you know, you took the unnecessary shot there.
The truth was there.
Okay, but here's the thing. You bought a football team. You didn't buy, you know, a China doll shop. You know, guys get broken. Like, this is the most physical sport. It's a collision sport. It's a contact sport. Yeah, guys are going to get hurt. You knew that risk in 1989 when you bought the team. And frankly, I'm surprised he didn't bring that up because he brings it up in every other press conference of what a risky move it was to buy the Dallas Cowboys.
Isn't it incredible that Jerry Jones, the glitziest owner in the NFL, the most valuable franchise in sports possibly, is the cheapest dude that you'll ever run across?
But he's not, though.
But he regrets every dollar he spent. He regrets it. I think he is. I think he does not like giving out these big contracts. I'm sure, you know, there's cash spending and cap spending. Sure, he doesn't like the cash spending. It feels like he really does not like paying a lot of money for these players, and that's why it's slowed down. You know, he grew up in Arkansas. I don't think he's like Steve Ballmer. I'm going to throw money around. He clearly has issues with the contracts he's already given out. So that's why maybe he's playing it slow here.
Then why does he always end up paying everyone at the very top of the market, including Dak Prescott, who he mentions and sideswipes in this soundbite?
He does it regretfully, I guess. I mean, this is clearly the case of what's the definition of insanity, doing the same mistake over and over again, and why we would expect Jerry to change at all. So I saw all these stories yesterday. I'm like, nothing is going to change here. That's Jerry as usual. But let me ask you this theory I've been pushing, that Jerry just gets to go up to the press conference and say something, then somebody else behind the scenes is pulling the levers. If it was up to Jerry, he might not sign Micah at all, it sounds like.
Well, you're right about that, and they basically admitted it, and Jerry did, because he said, and Jane Slater asked him the question, have you talked to Micah Parsons' agent directly, right? Because a couple months ago he said, I don't even know the guy's name, right? Which is always awesome to do, insult somebody when you're in a negotiation with them. And he said he does not talk to he does not talk to the agents. He lets his people do that. He goes, I talk to the principals, which in Jerry speak means he only talks to the players and the coaches. He doesn't talk to their agents. He also said, just as a fun fact, apparently if you're in a lawsuit with Jerry Jones, he doesn't speak to his lawyers. So you can just file that away. But no, he said, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time in my day to talk to every agent and do all the song and dance. So he's not talking to the agents because Jane asked a good follow-up. People are going to wonder, why aren't you being more proactive if you are saying you want to get a deal done but you have this impasse with whatever the details are? Why aren't you trying to be more productive and forceful or not forceful, but be more open to talking to the agent? He said he's not doing that.
I mean, bottom line, Jerry Jones doesn't want to pay $41 million for Micah Parsons, who he thinks is probably on the small side and will get hurt.
Then trade him.
But he's not going to do that. You can't do that either. The Cowboys.
Who then? Like what?
They're between a rock and a hard place on this
they?
contract. Well, yeah, because the odds are most of these high end contracts are not going to work out. That's just the way the NFL is. It's kind of like baseball. Like T.J. Watt just got $120 million. You think that's going to work out? The guy's 30. Sometimes you just have to pay your stars. And Jerry's like, why am I doing this? It always kind of ends up burning me.
Well, then, I mean, you're also getting a lot of the benefit here from having Micah Parsons on your team and owning the Cowboys. Like, if you don't think it's a good business model, then get out. But he hasn't. He bought the team for basically what seems like a song now, and he's got the most valuable franchise in maybe the world.
Well,
so
I'm
you
not
could sell
that.
the team, too.
I'm saying from a cap standpoint, too, he paid Dak that money, and he's probably still living in regret over that.
Well, he could have paid Dak 2 years earlier and decided not to. All these wounds are self-inflicted, Pro.
But
and
I mean, any money for Dak would have been over. If he had paid him $50 million instead of $60 million, he still got hurt.
Well, move on then.
That's now you're getting to something. Like he knows, but he can't. If you're the owner of the Cowboys, you can't not sign Dak Prescott. You can't not sign Micah Parsons. You can't not sign CeeDee Lamb. That's why, you have to be perfect around the edges of these players. And I think he's frustrated by the whole setup.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a part of it because he basically is one of the most influential owners in the league, if not the most. So he's written a lot of this language, or they negotiated with the union. And to be honest, you drafted well in some of these spots. So that's the reward, is that you have good players. And what comes with that is they want big contracts. But I can't cry for the Cowboys, first of all, because why would you ever? But secondly, I can understand spending all this time talking about these contracts when it's the 49ers. And you are actually a Super Bowl contender who's gone to the Super Bowl, who's been in the fourth quarter of these games with a lead or overtime with a lead. And now we're like, wow, how are all the puzzle pieces going to work for this contender? What's exhausting about this is the Cowboys aren't even close. A couple 12-win seasons, and then you flame out in the first round of the playoffs or whatever, or you lose to a lower seed or whatever. You have home games that you lose. And I don't think people have the appetite for this when you're not a real contender. And I'm sorry for whatever, Tyler Smith said the other day. They're not actually a realistic Super Bowl team. That's not true. And so I think that's part of it. I'm toying with the fact of making the Cowboys a playoff team. And even that is hard to talk myself into, let alone a Super Bowl contender.
Well, yeah. I mean, they have a really hard schedule. They have almost half their team seems either hurt or about to get hurt. It feels like somehow they missed their window because they're old and injured. They're paying Parsons is the one shining star on this team. The rest of the team feels like you could just let them go, right? Now here's the one thing.
Yeah.
How did they build the 90s champion? How did they build the 2010s winning team? They got this awesome offensive line. So Jerry's going back to the well with that and hoping that all these first round picks, because if you have a great offensive line, it's going to make everything better and they're going to win 12 games again. If all the Tylers hit, the three Tylers, Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker, Tyler Guyton, then they could all of a sudden surprise everybody. So Jerry never changes. That's my point. He is just doing the same thing over and over again. And how you still get frustrated in the year 2025 of our Lord, I don't understand. This is on behalf of the fans. This is business as usual. By the way, I was just looking at the record. They've won more games than the Niners in the last 5 years, regular season games. So they can put together some regular season wins. Let's not throw too much shade at Jerry Jones.
Yeah, amazing regular season, fantastic, good for you. I love that we're playing for that in what'd you say, the year of our Lord 2025.
Yeah.
Just a heads up too, and this is where Jerry steps in it, and this is where having him at the podium, it's like Jerry, he's the great showman. Well, not really, because in this day and age, things move real fast, and Jerry's 82. And I don't know if sometimes he realizes that there's like the world we live in. You and I are sitting here next to each other. People out there are listening to the sound of our voice. And then there's an online world that whether you think it's hogwash or whatever, it's bad for us, all that stuff, well, it exists. So after Jerry's done talking in the regular world, on the online world, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, J.J. Watt decides to weigh in, who's also working for CBS now, who basically is dripping with sarcasm as he tweets this. Anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before the season begins, you got to take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. And obviously that's where he's saying Jerry went off the cuff and said, of course, and said that, just because I signed Micah Parsons to a huge deal doesn't mean he's going to be healthy. Hey, look what happened to Dak Prescott. And Micah Parsons retweeted it. So Jerry could have been 99% positive, but that one part gets on to social media, and now J.J. Watt breathes credibility into it and criticizes it, and it becomes not credibility, but he criticizes it in a public way. Micah retweets it, and now the positive stuff and all this that you've done means nothing. It's just, it disappears in the wind.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jerry does not care about the online world. But actually, that online, it's Twitter. Like, that's very small percentage of Cowboys fans even have access to that. I know it's making some headlines. I think Micah is enjoying this game with Jerry. It feels like Micah, you've seen Micah Parsons a lot of this. Like, he's sort of a mini Jerry Jones. Like, he loves the mic, and he loves mixing it up in this thing. You know how this is going to end. This is just sort of,
we all know how it's going to end.
This is foreplay on the final contract.
Yes.
They're just messing around. And the fact that Micah Parsons jumped in there, I don't think it's a real bitter retweet of J.J. Watt. I think they're playing a game here, and it's going to end up with him overpaying Micah Parsons way too late. Again, why would we expect any different results? It's going to end up in possibly a promising regular season that'll fizzle out in the playoffs. Nothing's ever changing with the Cowboys until Jerry is done playing GM.
So Micah obviously, retweets this J.J. Watt thing. Yeah. So you can see maybe he's a little bit, salty. How would you take this? You're a star player for the Dallas Cowboys. You're in a contract brouhaha. You're one of the stars of the team. You're the number one topic in this hour-long press conference, and you're the number one topic now in the NFL, like probably for the next week. And the guy you're sitting across from in the negotiating table,
I'm perfectly happy that we have Zimmerman.
doesn't know your name.
Of all of the people that I've sat down with as a player, of all the players that I've ever negotiated with, Michael Parsons is as savvy and knowledgeable and understanding of his financial business relative to football as any player I've ever been around.
What an amazing sense. I actually looked it up to make sure his real name wasn't Michael Parsons and maybe Micah was a nickname or something. The internet's telling me it's Micah, not Michael.
All right, now you're
Parsons.
just being mean a little bit, Maggie.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You're
That
the
sounds
GM of the team.
I hear you. Like, okay, all right.
Okay, Anthony Perloff.
Yeah, what do
Well,
you?
I'm
I've
just
never
saying,
heard
like,
anything like that. You're gonna praise the guy, and then call him the wrong name. That's whiplash.
I don't know. I mean, like, listen, these guys are older. Like, do you make fun of our presidents when they get names wrong? Like,
They
listen,
always do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, they got to give
The jobs are kind of big,
Jerry's 82. I'm going to give him full credit. I'm not going to I'm not going to dunk on him for that.
Showing up.
I don't know. I feel like that dunk was unnecessary right there.
Michael Parsons.
Does that set the negotiation back?
He doesn't know David Mulugheta's name. I'm not concerned. At least he knows who Michael Parsons is.
I don't know his name.
Generally, we know who Mike. But maybe you're right because Micah Parsons didn't know Mike Zimmer's name. Thought it added a man at the end, Zimmerman.
Well, bottom line. We
He's
can't
gone,
take
by
this
the way.
whole situation too seriously. Like, I mean, you just said it. Like, the Cowboys have no chance to make the Super Bowl. What was it, Tyler Smith who said we're a Super Bowl team? It's not on the table then. Then why are we spending so much time on them? And actually, I want to too. I'm not saying, like, what is it about this team that still draws us in?
Because they have a huge fan base, and this is important to people who are listening to the show.
No, I think it's more than that. I think it's fascinating. Like, I think Jerry is, even of all this, and even though he can't remember Micah Parsons' name, I think this is still, it's amazing. He's still interesting. It's an accomplishment. We could have gotten over this 10 years ago, Maggie.
Interesting. I think we need a different word.
I think it's interesting.
I said yesterday, and this came off sounding a little mean, and in retrospect, when the cut got clipped for social media, I was like, ooh, I sounded a little mean there. I said I'd rather watch Rory McIlroy implode 100 times out of 100 than watch Scotty Scheffler win by 5 strokes every game.
Oh, I love that
Every
one.
tournament. And I realized, I'm like, ooh, I sounded like a jerk when I said it. But in some ways, like, is Jerry interesting, or are you tuning in for the potential implosion, the car wreck, the one comment that's going to be like, what did he say? I feel like more people are tuning in for that than for the great lessons that he's imparting on the audience of his great business acumen.
Well, I think that he said something that all 32 owners are thinking, by the way, yesterday. That's the other thing. He's unfiltered. Like, you don't think every other owner is like, oh, my God, I can't believe I just paid $50 million a year for a guy who's playing 8 games. That is, I guarantee 32 owners have the same exact thought. Jerry's just completely unfiltered. So that's interesting. Yeah, of course he's interesting. Okay.
Can we put the poll up? Is Jerry Jones still interesting? He's got the documentary dropping too, which he made sure to mention yesterday.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I definitely think he is, because, this whole situation, again, there's no reason to expect different results, but it's just definitely fascinating. Like,
sorry, can we
every
is
part of
Jerry
it.
still interesting?
Yeah.
He was interesting. I don't think he's still interesting.
All right. Really? Okay, let's see the poll results. The other thing, too, the team's not that bad. If they were the Browns and they were 3-14, then we could say, like, but you look at his depth chart, like, oh, okay. He's definitely done some good things. Like, who's done that? Who's
what do they have to
drafted
show
the-
for it? It's professional sports.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's not the funny thing about it is not the biggest train wreck in the NFL.
Yeah,
it's not
but-
the Jags or the Titans or any of these teams.
Yeah, but they don't have no offense, but they don't have the fan base or the expectations of the Jags or the Titans. And it's kind of like the New York Yankees or the LA Lakers, or, they're in that air where, there were dynasties in the 70s and in the 90s, and people expect winning. And every year you don't win is seen as a failure by the fan base. And whether that's fair or not, that's their right. And Jerry sets that expectation. The Browns aren't setting that expectation. They're not the same.
Well, yeah, but I think if they were 3-14, we'd view this much differently. They're well above 500 over the last 5 years. I mean, even last year they were terrible. They were 7-10.
Who cares? It's about winning.
because-
It doesn't matter. Regular season awards don't apply to teams like the Cowboys.
Well, that's why Jerry's still relevant enough, because there are older owners who've run teams into the ground, like Leon Hess with the Jets, for example. Like, this is not exactly what's happening here, but there's still loads of talent on that team, right? I mean, if they could actually somehow get healthy, like, they would be really good. If you put all their players healthy, I mean, that's why Jerry's mad too, because he knows these guys aren't going to stay healthy. Do you think Micah Parsons at that size is going to stay healthy for this contract? Probably not. So Jerry's at least speaking truth. I think he's still interesting. I vote yes.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, so there you go. Jerry Jones still interesting. And your thoughts on Jerry and about the Cowboys this year, because I was getting a little excited about them. I defended the George Pickens trade. I thought it was really good.
That's the X factor. Do you see those clips of him catching touchdowns in the end zone? Even I'm like a little nervous. Like, whoa, because I poo-pooed it when it happened.
You did.
And now I did see he looks amazing in camp. For what it's worth, like, oh my God, will he keep it together? He needs a contract. So if he doesn't get the targets, I'm expecting an implosion.
I've never had anything I wanted I couldn't get.
To be Jerry Jones. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, lots to do. He was not the only owner who was speaking yesterday. Owners taking their turn at the microphone. And also, Big Ten Media Days kick off today. And Perloff and I do not see eye to eye when it comes to one big thing about the reigning national champs, the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're going to hear from Ryan Day later today. So much to do. It's Maggie Perloff.
Michael Parsons.
I don't know his name.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff Show. We're diving into the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, by the way. Jerry Jones was up at Oxnard. I don't understand. Like, this guy will still, it doesn't matter how old he gets, he will still be running an hour-long press conference. And he will still never run out of things to say. It does not, this whole August, he's going to give more press conferences. Remember, he pulled back a little bit last year and didn't go to one of the owners' meetings, or didn't speak at one of the owners' meetings. He's
and
fully
the combine,
back on.
I think.
What's that?
And the combine.
Oh, right. It was the combine where he didn't speak. Well, he's fully back and saying things that are getting him in trouble. But it's not going to mean anything. We're going to have the same Cowboys team we always have, where there's promise, but it's not going to go anywhere where they want. They're going to give Micah Parsons too much money. My question is he still interesting? I think so. I'm still tuning in. And even Maggie, you said he's not interesting, but admit it. You have to take a glance over there.
Yeah, but, to be honest, I wish another owner would step into the Jerry Jones, role.
I think that's hard to do. I mean, I think he's one of one.
No,
who's even
obviously.
a potential?
I know.
Mike Brown says some crazy stuff, but...
who's, at some point in the NBA, Mark Cuban came along, right? And he was the new guy on the block who was saying crazy stuff and calling out the league. And it was fun and, and gave us reason to think we need new blood here. Who's going to be the young owner who's actually going to start, saying interesting things?
Well, I saw one of the Irsay kids said something the other day. They're stepping into that role. Maybe, the Irsay family.
The daughters.
They have a history of doing things. But I don't know. Jerry's one of, you can't recreate Jerry. And Arkansas oil man who played GM for 40 years and won 3 Super Bowls. There's a lot going on here. And you can even say this is not interesting. And I said, nothing's going to change. But admit it. You have to watch this.
So Jerry basically stepped in it yesterday because he was being very effusive in his praise for Micah Parsons. But
Michael Parsons.
He did call him Michael. But then at one point says, well, I could pay him. And it doesn't even mean he's going to be here, just like I did with Dak Prescott. And so obviously that it felt like a dig. Bill is in Houston. Bill, this is looking very familiar to you with another NFL owner. Who is it?
Well, I just feel like the Cowboys are always going to be in the Jones family, and I've had the unfortunate pleasure of sitting through the Houston Oilers and sitting through the Dallas Cowboys. With the exception of Jimmy Johnson, the Cowboys have been. It's like you go to a football game or you follow the Cowboys. And I think part of it for their fans is they know it's like watching a car race from the stands, and you're there to see the talent. Also, know there might be a wreck.
Right.
And that's how I feel about the Cowboys. Same way with the Oilers. I just feel blessed that the Texans realized how stupid they've been doing things, and they got a great GM. They got a hot new head coach. And Cal McNair turned the corner with how he ran the team, and so it's exciting down here. But I mean, my goodness, the Cowboys. I was in my early 30s when they won their Super Bowl. To let you know how old I am, that's a long time ago.
Bill, age is just nothing but a number, though, sir. Thank you so much for the call.
I totally agree. D'Amico Ryan's easy on the eyes, I assume, calling him a hot coach.
Well, I think he meant more of up and coming.
He can be whatever he wants.
Yeah.
We're the Maggie and Perloff show. We are not afraid to rate the head coaches on how good looking they are.
Slim Pickens.
Yeah, really? Matt LaFleur's got a fan base.
A fan base. Yeah, they're called just Packer people.
I don't know. I've heard women evaluate it. Kevin Stefanski's a pretty solid B+.
Kyle Shanahan's pretty good looking.
Kyle Shanahan with that beard, yeah. I love that the men on the show are driving this conversation.
Yeah. I'm looking here like I just sucked on a lemon. I'm like, oh, guys. I'm just kidding.
I mean, D'Amico Ryan, come on. That facial structure?
Listen, they got some major questions this upcoming season. The AFC
cheekbones and a 3-4 defense. The perfect combination.
I know.
He looks like he can run out there and play. I love that he still clearly goes to the weight room with the players. And
he's young enough that he can do that and not break every bone in his body.
Yeah. All right, I got you sidetracked here. What were you going to go with?
I was going to say something about my favorite memory of Bud Adams. But no, let's keep talking about D'Amico Ryans. The former Titans owner, right? And he moved the team. The Oilers owner, and he moved the team. He once was at a Bills game and gave the crowd the finger. I think he must have been Jerry's age. He was in his 80s. And it was a Titans win over the Bills, and he gave everyone the finger. The owner.
Which one?
The middle one, Manny.
Oh.
He couldn't give him the ring finger because he don't have that. But he could give the middle. Neither do the Bills. Don't I know it. Andrew Bogusch is here with headlines and all the latest and greatest. What's up, guys?
Right.
Michael Parsons.
Before you start, a quick internet search says that Dave Canales is getting a lot of momentum.
Yes.
It's the best-looking head
Agreed.
coach. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Proceed. Sorry.
Headlines are sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com.
Deeper.
Dear Memphis Tigers, I know your pain. According to CBSSports.com, the school offered the Big 12 at least $200 million in sponsorship deals for a spot in the conference or a seat in the car to San Antonio or a diaper for Wrigley, but the league gave the school a quick and firm no.
Wait, hold on 1 second. You're offering friendship.
Yeah. Good times.
Bogusch is upset because not only is Perloff on his big road trip to San Antonio consistently said that Andrew Bogusch is not welcome on said road trip. He'd rather go it alone. Solo.
No, he'd rather go with a lot of people before me.
Yeah, solo is one, then like 4 other people who have said no, and then maybe you. So that's got you salty. And then yesterday, we kind of were workshopping a show trip to Wrigley because Perloff was saying at Wrigley Field it's okay for adults to wear diapers.
It's required.
Because you drink so much.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
You can't waste time going to the bathroom in that old stadium because it's going to cost you too many innings. And
too much further beer drinking.
And we said, yeah, well, the 4 of us on the show, 2 drink, 2 don't. And Bogusch got mad at that.
Right, because there's 5 people in the room right now.
But to be fair, you're not offering us 9 figures like Memphis is offering the Big 12.
I can't believe it costs $200 million to get into the Big 12?
No, it's going to cost more than that. The Big 12 said no.
No, I cannot believe that this game. Does that mean, because off that $200 million, they immediately start recouping that money off the TV deal, right? Is that how it works? So they know they're going to get a big chunk of that back?
Well,
does anybody else see that number be like, to get into the Big 12? Are you kidding me?
As I'm sure Bogusch is going to detail here because he's got all the latest. They said they won't even take any revenue for the first 5 years.
That's SMU did.
Right.
And they're still doing.
And they also said that
was to join the ACC.
Yes, to join ACC, yeah.
The conference would have an out if they're not contributing, then they could just kick them out. So, like, all that money, that's one of the most insane headlines I've ever seen.
And they didn't apparently even think about it, the Big 12. They're just like, nah, we're good. It wasn't like a deliberation or let's see some Excel spreadsheets. There's like, no thanks.
Who gets all this money? Like, that's the other thing. Like,
so what
kind of junkets are the administrators going to do off this one?
I wasn't sure reading it if they actually meant we're going to give you $200 million or that we can bring in $200 million of business with us. So it wasn't a straight payment. It was more like, here are the opportunities that we already have that we can bring to your operation. And they were still like, nah.
Basically, they said everyone who's going to join the Big 12, take a step forward, not so fast, Memphis. It was like very...
No, not you.
Not you. Solid no. Yeah.
Well, they've been trying to get to a bigger conference for basketball for a long time.
Yeah.
They're like the last school that's kind of stuck in the AAC, and they hate it there.
Ooh. Did you get that news yesterday? They are no longer the AAC. Now they're just American Conference.
Oh, jeez.
And that's not even the best. Well, that's the story. So, yes, that's the setup. Did you guys see the extra part of the story?
I did.
No.
The conference now has a mascot.
Mm-hmm.
A conference?
Soar the bald eagle.
What?
Soar the bald eagle?
Yep.
I don't know what he's going to do or what, but the conference
He's not
now.
going to the Big 12.
Yeah, whatever he's doing, he's doing. Yeah, he's sticking at the American. He's going to rah-rah the American conference. It's a bald eagle. The conference now is a mascot. And I was trying to think, if you were the SEC or the Big Ten or the ACC, what should your mascot? If it's the SEC, it's got to be like a bank vault.
Oh, I was going to say like a sorority building or something, or a fraternity building.
Delta, Delta, Delta.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, all right, Memphis is not bad. Like, they've been pretty good at football. Like, Justin Fuente, remember that run? And they had a lot of first-rounders. Like,
how about John Calipari was their basketball coach?
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway is their coach right now.
I mean, and he leads the NCAA in fractions.
Yeah. But I mean, in the real sport, though,
That's not
football, like, they actually could be. I think they're a bit of a powerhouse. Like, if they got into a big conference and started paying money, they have $200 million to give. They had Mike Norvell, too, was there. I feel like they could be good. I don't know really what's going on here.
I assume it's because they look at the Tennessee market and they say, well, Tennessee has this on lock. So if you're in the Big 12, do you really need Memphis if you don't feel like you can really make any inroads in that state?
But Tennessee's one of the fastest growing states of the country.
I know.
It feels like there's plenty to go around. I've actually never been to Memphis.
I have not either, but you got to watch out, obviously, for up-and-comer Vanderbilt, who now is with Diego Pavia.
Watch out for them doors.
Is Is it a bad school? Because every once in a while, these conferences are also like, you don't meet the academic standards that we like. Is it not a good enough school?
I think it's fine. I don't think it's good or bad. If I know.
But they do. But that has come up at times.
Oh,
like,
I know.
They want certain like accreditations and like all this kind of stuff. So because it doesn't make sense that Memphis, as you said, EJ, has not been picked up by somebody.
Right.
Like we joke about all of these Utah states and New Mexico states and Fresno Double State, all these schools bouncing back and forth, and Memphis has been stuck in this league. You think people would have pounced on them, so there's got to be something about them that has made them less appealing than schools we didn't know were playing Division I football.
Listen, you got a mascot now in the American. This is not the time to leave. You've got a bald eagle mascot. This is the time to stay.
Is it an actual eagle? Or is it some dude dressed as? That's disappointing.
Well, I think it's only a concept right now. I don't know if they've hired or built the suit.
See, that's the problem. If it was an actual eagle, and then we had like the Eagle 1 and Eagle 5, like we actually saw the eagle progress, that would be kind of cool.
Like Auburn.
Yeah, like UGA or like Butler Blue.
They don't exactly have. They have the concepts of a plan.
I mean, I saw a graphic yesterday. I didn't see a person in a suit waving his arms at headquarters in, I think, Frisco, Texas.
Well, Frisco.
Yeah, I think that's where they are now. The American.
I don't know. Jump on board. Big Ten, SEC, you're up. Need a mascot.
Big Ten just be a big piece of steak. That's meat country.
What else?
In non-Michael Parsons NFL news, the Packers have signed right tackle Zach Tom to a 4-year extension, which reportedly includes a $30.2 million signing bonus, which would be a record for an O-lineman. And the embattled Lloyd Howell has stepped down from a second job. The former NFLPA executive director is resigning from that part-time gig at the Carlisle Group, which was part of his issues at the union. At the very least, we could make the Phillies earn any victories they get.
That pitch just a bit outside. That catcher's interference? That's a good question. The Phillies are going to look at it. Mike Felice went running off his chair, and Mundo pointed right away.
That'd be a weird way to end the game.
John Crook wasn't wrong on Phillies TV. First time since August 1st of 1971 that we got a walk-off catcher's interference. Edmundo Sosa's check swing getting a piece of Boston catcher Carlos Narvaez's glove. The Phillies had to challenge the play to get the call, and the 3-2 win in 10. The bases were loaded, so Sosa, being awarded first base, pushed in the winning run. The details do not matter to Zach Wheeler.
Sosa, he loves the big moment, and it's not what we probably pictured, but we got the job done, and we got the win.
Okay, now, Sosa loving the big moment does not apply. This is not clutch for accidentally hitting the other guy's glove on a check swing.
By any means necessary, Bogusch.
Listen, Zach was, in the heat of New York City, moving a stroller in 95-degree heat, and I saw it personally. I'm going to give Zach a break on weird comments.
What is he, the Eagles in a Super Bowl drought?
Just saying, I was out there walking in New York City during the All-Star break, and I see Zach Wheeler moving around a stroller and having a baby in his arm, and I was like, oh, this guy's working. Everybody thought he was just taking a vacation during the All-Star break, and he wasn't. So maybe he comes back and he's a little, he's got not the rust off when it comes to post-game comments.
I'm sorry, are you giving him credit for parenting? He's a parent. Listen, you don't get extra credit for being a guy pushing a stroller. That's just called the job.
He's a millionaire. He could get anybody to do that.
It's your kid. You got to push the stroller every now and then, even if you're a billionaire.
Why can't he push it himself?
He is pushing it himself. I'm saying you don't get credit for that. Oh, the baby. Yeah, get out there, baby.
No, I'm saying most guys on the All-Star break were on a beach. This guy was on the hard concrete of New York City.
The concrete jungle of his
Why
stroller?
is he in New York, too?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Well, he played here for a while, so...
And he has a place here still?
Probably. I assume that's why he was here.
Shocker, millionaire has a place in New York City.
Maybe Mrs. Wheeler's from here.
I think we're all burying the lead. We're talking about mascots now. The American Conference has their own mascot. Perloff sent us an update yesterday. I didn't know the Philly Fanatic, there was a woman accompaniment to the Philly Fanatic. Phoebe Fanatic?
Wow, listen, if you're talking about what happened last Saturday night, Philly Fanatic was caught in a way he shouldn't have been caught. Let's just put it this way.
Yeah, everyone
there was
saw
a fan cam shot of Philly Fanatic. That was not meant to get out there, Maggie.
Were they at a Coldplay concert?
They were playing Coldplay, and the fan cam caught Philly Fanatic with his arm somewhere they should not have been. And
Where's
there's
his little
confusion,
waggy
though.
tongue?
So there's a female fanatic named Phoebe Fanatic that they use all the time.
Just found that out yesterday, by the way.
Didn't know.
But then I don't know if this was Phoebe, though, because Manny did a Google search and Phoebe is his mom.
Yeah, that's right. I immediately Googled Phoebe Fanatic because I had never heard of this woman before in my life. And the first thing that I see is Phoebe Fanatic is the mother of the Philly Fanatic.
Oh, boy.
And they were canoodling.
Yeah.
And it was not.
But I don't know if that's Phoebe then. Maybe I jumped the ladder of inference.
You think that's Ursula Fanatic?
Is there someone named Ursula Fanatic?
Well, that's just a play on from Friends. Phoebe's twin is named Ursula, but I digress.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
deep
right.
cut right there.
Pretty popular show.
Yeah, man.
I think people would get that, actually.
I didn't.
Went way over my head.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
old rocks.
but there's an entire generation of 20-somethings who've watched every episode of Friends 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like yours truly.
Okay, so Phoebe Fanatic is the female. Now, listen, female might be a strong word. There are actually no body parts on the Fanatic. It's a giant green mound.
Listen, her gender is her business.
Yeah. Have you guys ever...
Her pronouns are her business.
You guys ever met the Fanatic?
I have.
Yes, I have.
Have you ever had him
wish
do
I had.
put the zoot thing on your nose?
No.
It's intoxicating.
Or your head?
It's intoxicating.
I've
Yeah, it's
had
amazing.
him
Best-
stick his tongue out at me. It was very rude.
Best mascot ever. After Maggie canceled the San Diego Chicken.
That's all we got left.
I'm sorry. I thought the mascot got wrapped up in a Me Too scandal. I was wrong. Sue me.
How physically would that have even worked? I mean, are you thinking they Me Too Philly Fanatic because he came out? Because, his famous move is he takes his belly and he starts grinding it
well,
on
that
you.
kind of gesture is going to get you kicked out of most places, Pearl.
The Phillies website has his
Bank,
official
though.
measurements. So you guys want to guess what the Philly Fanatics waist
68.
is?
84.
When was
No, like 120.
when did the Phillies get established? 86.
The Phillies have been around since 1886
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something.
I know.
So, you're going to 86?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not.
90 inches.
Ooh, I was closest. I win. Showcase showdown, baby.
But I don't think it's because of the whatever.
How big are his feet?
No feet measurements here, but 300 pounds.
Smaller than yours, though.
Half a Maggie.
I mean, well, that's a given. My feet are gigantic.
Can I ask you guys a question? When the Coldplay thing happened, did you guys think of should we try and do something as the Maggie and Perloff show? Where, I mean, obviously Maggie and I doing the Coldplay thing would be way too confusing.
That's how rumors get started,
Yeah,
Perloff.
yeah.
We don't need that.
But did you guys think everybody's doing some kind of skit off of this? Should we try something?
Well, we got to leave Bogusch out of it.
Because we leave him out of everything?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There was somebody made Manny and Jalen Brunson as
Manny made that,
Manny did
that
it.
Photoshop.
Manny
Oh,
already
Manny
had it
did that.
made.
Manny
Oh,
made
I
that.
thought that was Cap.
No.
Manny did it himself.
Oh, yeah.
And he finally had a use for it. It's been sitting in his inbox for weeks.
First of all, that's very disrespectful to Cap. I mean, that was just basically cut and paste job. Cap would have had a full.
It was like a ransom note.
The craftsmanship was not up to Kaplan's
Might as well have
standards.
been magazine letters.
I use, you know what app I use? I didn't use Photoshop. I used the Instagram app and just started layering 3 pictures. That's what I did.
All right, put it on the Maggie and Pearl X feed, please, and Instagram so everyone can see what we're talking about.
But it never crossed your mind, Maggie, that we should try some kind of sketch? No?
Not even a little. And then I got wrapped up so much in the golf farter, I had no more bandwidth for anything else. Those
For
were
the
two
Coldplay?
Those were the two competing stories that both went viral basically at the same time. That the couple got caught at the Coldplay concert having an affair, and then there was someone who farted into a mic in the British Open.
Yeah.
And that went
Or
viral.
around a mic, but
Around a mic.
yeah, I don't know if it was directly in situation. But I mean, the
If
Coldplay.
it wasn't, that was even more impressive earthquake of a fart than we could have ever imagined.
I'd say Coldplay is one of the most important cultural events in the last, 200 years. that has taken over everything.
It was the signing of the Declaration
there's
of
no
Independence, and then
competition. The golf
people got
farter, I'm
caught.
sorry, it was a big deal. But the Coldplay thing, that is basically taking American culture and history in a different direction than we ever expected.
Thank you, Chris Martin.
I think Hawk Tour Girl directly led to Coldplay thing.
So do you think the couple that got caught are suddenly going to be throwing out the first pitch at baseball games like
At a
Hawk
Met
Tua
game.
was?
I don't know. I saw an Oasis concert where one of the Gallaghers went on a long rant about how we're not going to put the camera on you so you can cheat on your wife.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And ticket prices
Yeah.
skyrocketed.
No, we got to do something.
Cheating couples just can't
now
get
that
out
Maggie's
like
not
they
into
used
it,
to.
I'm more tempted to come up and write it. Someone's got to write a sketch.
No. Or sure. I just don't want to be in it.
Oh.
Boo.
Guys, we got to get to a break. Okay, lots to do. Bogues, thank you so much. We've got more nickname brackets, sports nicknames to reveal to you today. We also have a question about Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes, and we're going to answer that next.
Come on, man.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Wesley Financial. Stuck in a timeshare and want out? Contact Wesley Financial Group now and get a free timeshare exit information kit at wesleyfinancialgroup.com. You hear that music, that means it's time to reference Coldplay and the executive from, what's the company called? Astronaut?
Astronomer.
Astronomer. Do they have anything to do with the stars? I've actually have not bothered to Google what Astronomer does.
Neither have I.
I think we got the gist of what's going on at that company.
Funny enough, Coldplay has a song called All the Stars.
Of course.
I think this scandal will last for years. I think this is going to be a cultural touch point. You mean like the guy who was caught at the concert? Because I've actually often been fascinated by this, the kiss cam. Like what's actually going. I mean, a kiss cam comes up at a game and you immediately wonder what's this relationship like.
Yeah, people have had a lot of fun with the kiss cams too, right? Like someone will bring like a sign to a game. It's like, it's my sister, or they've had fun with it. And come here, Deborah. Or people taking it the other way. Come over here, I love you. Where they will do some really explicit stuff on the cam, which is like definitely not safe for work or kids or anything. So a little too much nipple. People get really creative.
Yeah, I mean, there was an episode of Modern Family where Ty Burrell's character was sitting next to Sofia Vergara, and she kissed him, and it became a big scandal. It's very awkward. I'm glad I never got in that spot. I mean, my favorite part is when the camera goes up. Remember about 8 years ago when the floss became a big thing?
Yeah, of course.
Then all of a sudden, 20,000 kids started flossing, hoping the camera would come to them. that was always entertaining. Yeah, I'm a big camera guy.
What would you do, or what have you done when the Jumbotron camera gets on you?
I can't do it. I freak out. I do not.
You got nothing? You don't have a move?
Well, no, I don't know what to do. Like, you guys have a move? Have you thought about this?
Absolutely. Yes, I have a move.
Because I've sat in the front row with EJ before.
Oh, yeah, you're right in Jumbotron.
Yes. And it's terrifying. I kind of hide. I hide like the guy in the Coldplay video. I do not want to be part of it.
Yeah, well, that guy hid, like, he dove for cover.
Wait, I can't believe this. You don't strike me as somebody who'd want to be on the Jumbotron either.
I've been on the Jumbotron one time at Yankee Stadium and twice at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, what did you do?
Well, then we had to wave to the crowd because we were kind of like doing this thing. But if I were there as just as a fan, there's one move and one move only. And I'm sorry because I don't think you can do it and AJ wouldn't be doing it either. You got to chug the whole beer. That's the one and only move for the Jumbotron that the crowd gets into. Whatever you're holding, you just got to down it.
And you did this.
No, I'm saying this is what I would. I've been on the Jumbotron twice at Yankee Stadium, but we had to wave to the crowd because it was I was there once representing this incredible foundation that supports ALS. So I didn't think that was the right time to maybe slam my beer.
I'm talking about the real camera. I'm talking about like the fan cam, not some prearranged thing. What would you say you would chug a beer? Like, what are you, a lineman for the Packers? How are you going to pull it?
We're all linemen for the Packers in that moment.
All right. Manny, EJ, can you guys see Maggie Gray pulling that off in a stadium?
No, not even a little bit.
It's the only
you weigh
move.
about 97 pounds. You're going to chug an entire beer on camera, like one of those big stadium beers? Get out of here.
She's going to be a quarter of the way through, and she's going to be obliterated.
It's got to go all over you. It doesn't matter, You just got to do it for the look.
Yes.
Yeah, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin that thing.
But you see, here's the thing, though. I drink whiskey, so I just be down into whiskey whenever that...
Now,
it's whatever's in your cup. It's got to get drained.
Manny could pull this off. I do not believe, and maybe we should do this fall. I do not believe you can pull this off, Maggie.
Do you just don't think I can chug a beer?
On demand with 60,000 people. It's not just chug any beer. On camera, like with everything that implies. No, I think maybe in a controlled setting you could chug a beer if you're prepared. But you don't even know if the camera's coming on you. Then boom, it's on you, and you're going to just down that bad boy.
So
I've been thinking about it.
We're bringing beer to work?
Got to...
We can do it after work. We don't have to do it during the show.
We could just say it's Gatorade.
I will happily, as a social media video, when we're not talking across the country, where it's discouraged to drink beer at this job while we're doing the job, I will gladly chug a beer.
All right, got to see it. She ate a full pizza for her former show and immediately threw up everywhere. So I can't wait to see this.
I can. I'm not trying to get thrown up on. Like your wife Perloff.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
I know. Perloff's wife got puked on in Philadelphia. That's not cool.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
How much goodwill has Ryan Day really bought himself? Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Pearl, you think a lot, right? And
yeah.
They won the national championship last year. Amazing run to win the title for Ohio State. They were a juggernaut of a team that, had really struggled at times during the regular season. They were playing on a razor's edge. They lost that game to Michigan. Things looked devastating. Ryan Day's getting death threats. I mean, things got really serious and pretty ugly. And then this magical run through the college football playoff. The first year it ever got expanded to 12 teams in this new format. And they played great. They took advantage of their opportunity, and they won it all. Now, Big Ten Media Days are starting today, so Ryan Day is going to be at the podium. Has this now lessened some of the, fervor about not beating Michigan, where Ryan Day has a 1-4 record against the Wolverines because he was able to deliver a national title last year?
Definitely. And this is a problem with the 12-team playoff. It eventually, and might not be immediately, waters down the regular season, and that includes the rivalries. I do remember when they expanded to 12, I think it was our buddy Ross Tucker, football analyst, who said this is going to hurt Ohio State, Michigan. Because really, Ohio State, Michigan, to me, and we argue about this, it's the only massively relevant rivalry left. North Carolina Duke died because the tournament expanded so much, and North Carolina and Duke decided to judge themselves on their postseasons. I think that this is going to water down that rivalry. But the reality is Ryan Day's a champion. If he loses to Michigan, who cares? I mean, yes, of course they care, Columbus. They live to beat Michigan, but it's definitely not going to affect his job status.
So did you think that the day that Ohio State lost to Michigan?
I thought he was in big trouble, of course.
Okay, right. So he had to win the national title.
And he did.
But how much glow and how long can you live off that national title? You would think you could live for a while off of that. Or you could coast for a while off. I'm not saying coast. He's definitely not mailing anything in. But you could definitely, kind of bask in the glow of your national title, and you would have a job for at least a couple of years. That doesn't happen in coaching all the time. Ed Orgeron, who was a lot, he was a handful. He was gone after LSU won it. Ryan Day did not have the cachet coaching acumen. He was gone after Auburn won a national title. In the NFL, this happens all the time. And quite frankly, college football is becoming a lot more like the NFL. It happened with your team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Peterson beats Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, shown the door. The coaches sometimes don't get the amount of grace that we think. Now, some coaches can live off one title forever. And I'm not saying Ryan Day may only win one. But if he goes 1-5, if they lose to Michigan again, I think you're going to see those same type of feelings drummed up, and I think this fan base is waiting to turn on this dude. I don't know why. I think he's a good coach. I thought it before he won a national title. I didn't understand what the rush was to run him out of town, but I'm not a diehard fan of Ohio State, so I'm going to let those fans have that opinion, have their feeling. They're welcome to have it. I think they're waiting to turn on him, and losing again to Michigan, which is totally within the realm. I think you will start to see the get Ryan Day out of here from a, vocal, even if it's a vocal minority, vocal part.
I mean, I'd be shocked if that happened. First of all, they definitely could lose to Michigan this year. Michigan's probably better than they were last year. But Ryan Day, I'm looking, he's 70-10 as a coach, 3 playoff appearances. Where on earth would you get a better coach than Ryan Day? Who would you hire? Unless Nick Saban is coming out of retirement for Ohio State, which is definitely not happening, then what strategy would you have? Ryan Day is one of the best offensive coaches, is obviously next level at recruiting, even in this NIL world. So the odds are I can't even imagine. If they lost to Michigan, who are you bringing in? Maybe Jim Harbaugh. I have no idea how you could possibly top Ryan Day. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's an impossible. They're lucky. I bet you they feel kind of lucky to have him because he just keeps on bringing these incredible superstars to the program.
But that's not how everyone felt a couple months ago. No one. There was lists of candidates to replace him. After they lost to Michigan.
But a lot of insiders were internally they don't view Ryan Day that way. They're psyched that he's keeping the program going.
Keeping the program going. It's Ohio State. The program's going to keep going.
Ohio State before Tressel, there's a lot of down years for Ohio State. Wasn't Ohio State.
Okay, but think about now since Tressel, who was, I believe, a perfect 9-0 against Michigan? Was he not? You can double check me there.
Michigan stunk too. I mean,
I'm just saying that the last couple coaches that he's going to be compared to, Tressel, Urban Meyer, destroyed Michigan. And Ryan Day's got a 1-4 record against Michigan. I think, I would like to think that a national championship and being a good coach would buy you a lot of good graces with the fan base. I just have seen it happen with this guy. You mentioned the gaudy regular season record. The fans don't care about that. They expect that.
Well, yeah, but I think it's a little harder these days. Like, I think fans in Columbus are really smart. They know winning a national title now is definitely harder than it was. There's just no doubt about it. There's so much more parity in the sport. And that guy got Jeremiah Smith to come to Ohio State. Like, that doesn't earn him something? I mean, this
money
is
got Jeremiah Smith to come to Ohio State.
Everybody, no, I mean, you don't think everybody was offering Jeremiah Smith money?
So, I'm sorry, Jim Tressel was 9-1, so apologies. He was 9-1 against Michigan, and Urban Meyer was perfect against Michigan when he was the coach, and that's who Ryan Day is being compared to. The two most recent guys, we're not going to count. I think Luke Fickell was an interim. The one thing about this, though, is you're saying it's harder than ever to win a college football playoff.
Yeah.
Or to win a championship. You may be right because there's more games, but if it hadn't been for the 12-team expansion last year and it was only 4, Ohio State's not sniffing a shot at the postseason, and Ryan Day never has a chance to make up for that loss to Michigan where their team played terribly that day, and he may be gone. So in some ways, having a air quotes harder path ended up saving his bacon. They got saved there.
Well, I mean, think about Ohio State's win in 2014. What happened there? They expanded to 4. That's the only reason Ohio State got in, and Urban won the title. Nobody thinks back on Urban Meyer's first title as in Ohio State as flawed, do they?
No, I'm just saying that you say it's harder, but it actually saved him. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because, is it harder because you had to play more games, but it was incredibly hard to make the 4.
No, I just think you can't stash talent like you did in 2015 or 2000. What year was Tressel? Even way before that. Like
Tressel was 2001, I believe, to 2000.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they played an amazing Miami team, but even they had about 14 star NFL players. I just think it's way harder to win a title now. I think you're going to see a bunch of different champions, and I think Ryan Day is going to live off that for a long time. Also, again, show me a better plan. And even Ohio State, they're rational to some extent. Not totally. But what would you replace Ryan Day with? Like, I think he'd get scooped up immediately.
That's not the point. The point isn't where he would go next. This is the point of, do the Ohio State fans still want him? And up until a couple months ago and after that Michigan loss, they didn't. And I don't think anyone really would have been crying. They would have said, listen, you won against Michigan the first year, and that was with Urban's guys. And now you haven't been able to beat them in 3 different tries. He's 1-4 now against Michigan. And even though they won the national title, if they lose to Michigan this year, which the game's in the Big House, and this is going to be tough, I think you start hearing rumblings from that fan base again because I think they're waiting to turn on them.
Yeah, I think you're ignoring the new reality of the 12-team playoff. It's just watered down the thing. By the way, also, how are you going to – I know the money is part of it, but how you have this pipeline to these amazing offensive players, and everybody can pay these guys, but people want to go to this system and play at this school. And also, you might have revenue sharing, which will cut down the ability to spend. But look at their talent. It's unbelievable, especially on offense, what they've done. Unfortunately, I don't know who the quarterback is really going to be.
And they're not bringing a quarterback to media days. So Julian Sayin we thought was going to be the no doubt starter. But
kind of. Even no doubt. We've never seen him. So there's definitely some doubt.
Well, he was the 5-star who was coming in, and he was kind of had the inside track, as that's what people thought, to be the starter, and then didn't have a great spring game. So now Lincoln Kienholz is right there with him, and neither guy is at media day. Yeah,
but just to be clear though, it was not Arch Manning where everybody was waiting for Julian Sayin. It was like, okay, maybe he's ready. He's 19. So anyway, but. Back to 12-team playoff, Maggie, it's just different. I think the playoff is more important. I hate to say this. Even if he loses to Michigan this year, he's going to be in the playoff. And are you going to bet against Ohio State when they're playing one of EJ's ACC teams? They're still going to be a huge factor.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We're asking you the question, how much pressure is still on Ryan Day to beat Michigan when you are coming off a national title? You lost the battle, but you won the war. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, let's get to some nicknames.
64 nicknames were entered, but only one will win. It's Maggie and Perloff's search for the greatest nickname in sports.
All right, guys, excited to open up more voting for you today. We've got some brand new matchups for you. So let's get to it. And again, you can vote at Maggie and Pearl on X. That's where all the polls are up. You can see all of the bracket on Instagram and Facebook as well. So in the Tough Guys and Enforcers region, the 1 seed, Pearl, is Mean Joe Green.
Is there a better name than Mean Joe Green? I mean, that name just flows. And I ask kids about that, and I say, mean? And they say, Joe Green.
He asked me one time, he said, Andy, why do they call me mean? And I said, because you're mean.
Cute. That was Franco Harris and Andy Russell talking about Mean Joe Green. He's the 1 seed in this region. Takes on the 8 seed, the big unit, Randy Johnson. We move on. Tough battle here. The 5th seed in this region is Walter Payton, of course, known as Sweetness, against the 4 seed, Iron Mike Tyson.
Introducing the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the one and only Iron Mike Tyson.
The great Jimmy Lennon right there with the intro. The 11 seed in this region is the Rocket, Roger Clemens, Pearl, who's up against the 3 seed, Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator.
Gary, just between you and me, you find Earnhardt, intimidating?
Well, he's pretty darn competitive. Nobody trades paint like Dale. He does have that black Monte Carlo.
Yeah, he's got that black Monte Carlo.
But remember one thing. When he first started, his car was pink.
No, pink?
Pink? Pink. And he's never gotten over it.
Fun Chevy commercial from back in the day. The 7th seed in this region is Smokin' Joe Frazier, and he takes on the 2 seed. Reggie White, of course, is the Minister of Defense.
Mike Holmgren was preparing for his 2nd year as the head coach in Green Bay when he had an epiphany about the player known as the Minister of Defense.
Reggie's very devout. He was a ordained Baptist minister. So on a whim, I just phoned him up. And I left a message on his answering machine. Reggie, this is God. I want you to play in Green Bay. And then I hung up the phone. Fortunately, he has a great sense of humor.
That's funny. Mike Holmgren telling that story about Reggie White. So there you go. Voting is open now in the Tough Guys and Enforcers region.
I got a favorite here that I haven't been reading these polls right, but Sweetness, Walter Payton.
5th seed.
Yeah, I think he has a shot to get out of this bracket. I mean, Sweetness, it's pretty good.
But against Iron Mike Tyson?
Well, I don't like the nicknames where you have to say the person's full name, like Cameron, Hank Aaron, Iron Mike Tyson. That's not my style of nickname.
Not your style, or you think there's something weird about it?
No, it's just easy. Like,
but what about Mean Joe Green? You like that?
Nah, I like it where it's one name, like the Intimidator. I'm going to vote for the single names, the Minister of Defense, Sweetness, the Big Unit. I'll even put that over. Big Unit. I don't like having the nickname's so good, you don't need the person's name in there, and you know exactly who we're talking about.
I'm actually going to be very interested about Mean Joe Green versus the Big Unit. That
old debate. I mean, listen, we've been going over this for years.
Basically the Jordan LeBron of sports nickname debates. Okay, beyond that, we have some results for you as well. So anyway, you can go vote at Maggie and Pearl on X for the Tough Guys and Enforcers region. That is now live for you. As far as some results from yesterday, the Hoops and Handles region, it's just crazy. Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, of course, not even close against the Greek Freak. 81% of the vote to 19% of the vote. The Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, easily moves on, Pearl, taking out the logo, Jerry West.
Now we get to see the Black Mamba against Air Jordan, the battle we've all been waiting for. Oh my God, it's exciting.
Okay, we got a very interesting thing about the Black Mamba, but hold on, let me read these other 2 results and we'll get back to Kobe in a minute. The 6th seed in the Hoops and Handles region, sad to wave goodbye to the Iceman. George Gervin goes home. Pistol Pete Maravich moves on. And finally, Magic Johnson with an easy victory over Allen Iverson.
His name is Magic Johnson.
What's that about?
We're talking about practice.
81-19, like AI to get any love here?
So those are just some of the results from yesterday. We've got more for you. But can I pause for a second on the Black Mamba?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Easily beat the logo. And it's kind of funny because you couldn't have had two more polar opposites when it comes to this particular matchup. Yeah, Kobe Bryant, Jerry West are both incredible Lakers. But Jerry West would never even confirm that he was the logo. Was very uncomfortable with the nickname, didn't want to be the logo. Jerry West was so humble. He didn't want that nickname. It was forced upon him, and we loved him. Kobe named himself the Black Mamba. Can you give yourself a nickname?
So I created the Black Mamba.
Yeah, he created the Black Mamba, which I think waters down the Black Mamba. And that's not just a Kobe thing. I think anyone who gives themselves their own nickname, Pearl, it's kind of weak.
It generally is, but I feel like Kobe's an exception to every rule because it's so cool that at the end of the day, and everybody, I mean, as far as mentality, there's no better player mentality-wise than Kobe. So I give him a pass on this one.
But generally, when people create their own nicknames, it's kind of
it's like
frowned upon.
Is it like when you have a take and you call it the take of the year and you yourself say it multiple times, even though no one else had said it?
Well, I mean, it was trending in the right direction when I called 2025 the year of the drought buster.
Yes, and repeatedly said it's going to be taken. No, actually, you didn't even say it's going to be take a year. You already called it self. That was a self-proclaimed take of the year.
I didn't call myself the takesman of the year, though. That's from our former boss, Mike Exon.
Yeah. No, I think Kobe, you're right. You can't give yourself your own nickname, but Kobe can do it. For some reason, it makes it even cooler that he invented Black Mamba. It's like he came up with a alternate superhero. EJ, you're in the superhero world. Doesn't this sound like a superhero move?
Yes, that is true. I do feel like most superheroes is funnier or better when someone else gives them the name.
Okay.
I feel like most superheroes, like, they don't even give themselves a name. Like, they don't have a name. And then there's some stupid newspaper that comes up with a name. They're like, I don't even like that. And it sticks.
It's funny to call EJ in the superhero world. Like, he's got, a cape and a lair? Like, you're fighting crime. You just like superhero movies and comics.
No, I feel like he's a guy back at HQ who's helping the superhero, like on the computer.
Be the guy in the chair?
Yeah, you're definitely, that's okay, right?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take none of the risk.
Yeah.
Take none of the risk, and you get none of the glory, but still.
But often at the very end of the movie, the bad guy comes for the guy in the chair.
That's the only thing.
It's happened many times.
They find the lair, and they're like, oh, I'm screwed now.
Yeah.
They find the lair.
Yeah, they're always like, the guy in the chair is like, all right, well, the sirens are going off. He's like, I'm out of here. And then,
but then the hero will come save you.
Not always. Not always. Sometimes they get kidnapped, or sometimes they're just on the run. They're like, now they're working off a laptop, in a Starbucks somewhere.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Many times Alfred has been in some hot water. Let's say that.
Batman's butler.
Oh, Alfie.
Well, listen, you get him started on this topic. I know superhero fans. But Kobe is a superhero, so I think he is so cool he can give himself. I don't hold it against Black Mamba. Honestly, it feels like people were inspired by Black Mamba. That's a funny thing. Air Jordan obviously is, started a movement. Like, we saw a movie called Air about him becoming Air Jordan. Black Mamba, I think, did too. I feel like Jason Tatum and Devin Booker and all the Kobe acolytes love that name, particularly.
They do. He still gave himself the nickname, so I think that violates some kind of unwritten code of nicknames. And secondly, a lot of the stuff, not a lot, there are very specific instances where Kobe used Black Mamba to tell stories that weren't true. And I would say that if he was here, may he rest in peace, I'd say it to his face. He's admitted the blackout workouts, they weren't even true. So I think I'm not saying that Kobe doesn't deserve to be treated with the respect that his career granted him. But for Devin Booker and for Jason Tatum and these guys who worshipped him like a god, some of those stories just weren't even true. It's based on a myth.
Yeah, but aren't all great basketball legends based on myths? I mean, that's the thing about that sport. Like, the Dr. J got a nickel off the top of the backboard and dunked. I have no problem with this. That's what sort of the basketball mythology is all about. I mean, Air Jordan is mostly myth at this point. In my mind, he hit every game-winning shot that was ever taken. Like,
yeah, did Wilt really score 100 points?
Well, that was okay.
He did not.
Yeah, that's funny. Of course, every young person thinks everything is fake.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Richard's in Ann Arbor, Michigan, wants to talk about the Black Mamba nickname, which is taking on, just beat out the logo in our nickname bracket. Now we'll face off against Air Jordan in the next round. Richard, what do you have, sir?
I called earlier today. I wasn't able to hold on to the phone because my boss was eyeballing me. But, yeah, you can't be on that list if you nickname yourself. I mean, that's never heard of. Nobody else is nicknaming themselves on there. And real quick, just one more thing. You guys are forgetting the greatest nickname, Bone Crusher Smith. I mean, that tops everything. You guys
Wait, the boxer who got killed by Tyson? Yeah. He was really cool.
Well, yeah, but listen, we're talking about nicknames. Bone Crusher. One name per office, what you said, right? One name. I'll hang up and listen, guys.
Thank you, Richard.
We could have a separate category. I think we've talked about this. Guys whose names are just awesome because they're like what was the linebacker's name? Stonebreaker or something? Guys who have names that sound like they're the sport. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Well, Cam Hayward's dad was Ironhead, right?
What's that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, guys with like tough nicknames or tough guys.
Yeah, by the way,
positions with good names.
Yeah, Ironhead was a nickname.
No, Ironhead's a nickname. I know.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like
no.
Bone
But there was a guy
Crusher.
named Michael Stonebreaker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misinterpreted you. You are talking about people whose given names,
Yes.
whose legal names sound like they should only be playing sports. Like I knew a kid named Steele DeVito.
Yes, names like that.
Like
exactly.
He's the quarterback for the Giants?
No, he's I think related maybe to Tommy DeVito. They're both from New Jersey, but Steele DeVito, I can't imagine like being my CPA.
Stone Garrett was a Washington National. Well, something about the first name Stone. I don't know. It's just gnarly to me.
Although Stone Phillips was a famous TV broadcaster for many years, and that gave off like an air of I don't know if that was his real name.
Yeah. Michael Stonebreaker from Notre Dame was the guy I was thinking of. But yeah, I thought that's where that guy was going. Bone Crusher's a great name, but he was not that good of a boxer.
There was a Miami Dolphins running back, Storm Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who also was committed to the Miami Hurricanes, by the way, which was really cool for a hot second. Then he went to UCF.
But that's a totally different thing. That's like you're naming your
story.
kid like Adonis or something, where you're foreshadowing some real great stuff.
What if that kid is ugly and you named it Adonis?
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, it's like if you name a little girl Bella, you know.
I got some other ones. Max Strong, a fullback. Yeah, that makes sense. You need
That's a great name.
Webster Slaughter, the wide receiver. Michael Stonebreaker. Yeah, you have to. There are some cool names. Frank Gore. I don't think of that as like he can gore you.
Oh, like a bull to a matador?
Yeah. No.
Auntie, chill.
Yeah.
Got any more?
Bronco Nagurski. Like if you're named Quentin Jammer, a cornerback who jams a wide receiver.
Perfect one.
That's true.
This is good. Will Shields, who's an offensive lineman. Mike Quick, the wide receiver, who is now the color, and then DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Oh, of course, former Jed.
Because he has creates a brick wall.
Yeah,
around.
offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called him Brick.
Yeah.
The Brick.
What was it? By the way, I'm sorry to left turn. What was the nickname we came up? Oh, Magatron. You didn't give that to yourself, so we can run with that. The Magatron.
I would have to apologize to Calvin Johnson if I ever met him.
How about Chase Claypool, Mapletron? He's a Canadian version of Calvin Johnson.
But was he?
Not really, but he signed somewhere. Magatron's awesome. Can we work this in here, guys?
A write-in?
I don't hate it.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So again, the call to action here, you can now vote on the Tough Guys and Enforcers region. We're into the second round. Maggie and Perloff Show's quest to find the greatest sports nickname. All right, coming up, we've got some news for you out of Browns camp. Maggie and Perloff.
A vodka martini. How many olives would you like? 81.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Peter Bellotti, Manny and EJ. Peter Bellotti, Manny and EJ. Peter Bellotti, Nanny and EJ. Bogusch weeps. Andrew Bogusch. Lost in the fog of golf. Belotti's got something to say. Infinity's mice. He's feeling the dismay. No NBA on NBC. What a shame. Just JJ Redick's wine ain't the same. Peter Bellotti is getting upset. Maggie Perloff, can you hear his plea? Bring back the NBA on NBC. Set his spirit free. He misses more. Co-stars and the crew, those were the days. Pete cries out, boo, boo. Bring it back, oh can't you see? Bring back the NBA on NBC. Let it be. Pete's mad, he's feeling sad. Bring it back, oh make it right. Belotti's got some.
Peter Bellotti loves Wendy's bacon treats. Peter Bellotti loves Wendy's bacon treats. New shirt. Oh, Uncle Sam's on YouTube. Peter Bellotti, he's a man of many tastes.
And a Bogusch had a plan on a sunny afternoon. Grab
Get it with Snoop to your double chill on the beat. Paris got a problem, Mickey Cully ain't discreet. Olympics coming fast, but the water's not neat. Gotta clean it up, make the competition sweet. Snoop's in the house and he's laying it down. In Paris where the river's supposed to wear the crown. But there's trouble in the water, yeah, it's going around. While Peter Belotti's on the sideline, I'm making a sound. Now Peter Bellotti ain't fazed by the fuss. While the city's in a hurry, he's missing the bus. Olympic fever high and everyone's a rush. Peter's laid back, in the calm, no crush. Athletes train hard, dreams big, they trust. While Peter's in his world, the silence robust.
One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining.
Baby, just be baby. What?
15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. I should say the Magatron and Perloff Show.
It's not sticking.
Magatron sounds like something you'd find at Caltech, like something that has like some scientific purpose. Megatron works a little better, I guess, because of the Transformers thing. But we're trying to come up with the perfect nickname. I said, what was your nickname earlier that we could go? Mags.
Yeah, it didn't make the bracket.
Yeah,
and I wasn't a good enough athlete.
You must have had something. You don't need to be a good athlete to get a nickname.
No, I'm just saying to make this bracket. Our field of 64, we're trying to find.
Cannot be serious.
Trying to find the greatest sports nickname of all time. I was not a good enough nickname nor athlete to make this bracket.
Yeah, but you don't need to. I mean, everybody, that's why it resonates. We all have nicknames. We're all inspired, except for this show, for some reason, does not have good ones, except for me.
You mean to tell me Mad Mags didn't show up on the tennis courts?
Mad Mags? It's pretty good. It's not bad.
You cannot be serious.
Nobody went with Bigfoot or Thumper or Squatch
Oh,
or
that's not bad
Sasquatch.
either.
Nothing?
I know, with my huge, gigantic feet that are so freakishly large. You know, funny enough, I was kind of able to hide them a little bit. No one really.
How? A tennis bag.
Just a solar eclipse.
When you were playing tennis, I mean, you could have footballed from 8 feet behind the baseline.
It did. It was the biggest thing holding me back. Could have turned pro if not for my gigantic feet. But actually, I was thinking about my own sports career, which was very limited and not much to write home about. But when Tom Brady, who has a newsletter, apparently put out this big thing yesterday about how he had to turn his rivals into enemies. And Peyton Manning was one of the guys that he had to not just have a rivalry with, not just dislike, literally turn into an enemy, Pearl. I don't know if you saw this yesterday.
Yeah.
That resonated with me probably a little bit more than I care to admit. I thought of the other girls I was playing tennis against like that. I had to conjure that. It didn't work as well as Tom Brady's career worked, obviously, but I did look at them more like enemies than rivals. I was not friends with these other girls. We wouldn't speak to each other. It was like a pretty bad environment, quite frankly, and didn't make the team that fun. But I did not see them as friends. We were on the same team, but we were rivals and enemies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mad Mags in the house. I played so I played tennis in 7th and 8th grade and part of 9th grade.
Yeah.
And we were on the team, and man, did we have fun together. We were the exact opposite. You can't tennis, once you play the play-in match, you weren't good friends with everybody on the tennis court?
No, we weren't friends, and I wonder if we could have done better as a team if maybe we had been friends. But there's no teamwork unless you're on a doubles team.
Well,
but there's no teamwork here. You're only playing your opponent. And I was looking at everyone else on my own team also as competition. Like, Tom Brady didn't look at his teammates that way, but he looked at his rivals that way.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, maybe we should all be watching our back here.
That's what I'm
Mad Mags, like, what is going on here? After
Mags
you
will
play
take your
your
job.
match, if you've never been to a tennis, you go over and you cheer for your teammates. Like, once you're done, you have to go support. Like, hey, go get them, whatever. No? Isn't that how your team
Do you
works?
compartmentalize that, though? Because I feel like,
Yeah.
because to me, like, I feel like, you know, in the various times I've been a bench player for teams I've played for, like, practices, the starters were my enemies. Now, when we had games, I was rooting for them like anybody because I want my team to win and they're my friends. But in practice, it's like I'm playing against the starting point guard. I'm trying to destroy him.
So this is what Tom Brady said.
Not working. But.
He wrote this on TomBrady.com. It's enough about our sports careers. How about the GOAT? He says, when I look back on my relationship with Peyton Manning, respect, admiration, appreciation for him as a competitor has grown with each passing year. It was always there, but while we were competing against each other, I couldn't let that get in the way of the fact that he was my enemy, that he didn't respect me, that he thought he was better than me because he was the number one pick from an SEC school, or at least that's what I made myself believe. Convincing myself that those things were true created a sense of urgency with me to prove him wrong. It goes on and on and on.
Two distinctions. One, you notice, A, we're talking about Tom Brady, the GOAT. Secondly, he talked about the guy on the other team.
Right. No, I understand that.
I understand the format of tennis, but still, that's a kind of a strange analogy. So when you were playing these people, like, did you imagine that they had slighted you in some way?
No, I just looked at them as they were coming for something that was mine, that I was defending, right? Like, I wanted to have my spot on the team and that everyone around me was kind of an enemy. And I'm curious because that was just sort of my thing. You know, when you're talking about team sports and the other team is the enemy, and Bogusch is a coach for his kids' Little League and stuff like that, if the coach was instilling this Tom Brady, who we all admire, Tom Brady, and Michael Jordan had shades of this too, right? If a coach is instilling that in your kid, are you happy with that? Hey, the other team's your enemy. Your rival's your enemy. Do you co-sign off of it? Because I'd be a hypocrite if I said I didn't, because I was like that myself. I wouldn't necessarily teach it to younger kids.
I mean, listen, if I was a coach, I'd be like, that's your friend on the other side. Like, you know, give him a hug. No, of course you co-sign. What? This is basic athletics 101. What, is there anyone who doesn't think that way?
Well, Bogusch, you actually coach. Do you teach your kids to look at the other teams as the enemy?
I think the more important lesson in there is that that only matters during the game. Before the game and after the game, you have to turn it off. Like, you don't get to dislike them always because you're playing against them. Like,
I know, but can I bring up a counterpoint there? Yeah. If you want to be a good athlete, what do you have to do? You got to practice and you got to work hard at it. So what's going to get you out of bed, off the couch, off your phone
I'm out.
to go there and practice? You got to be motivated. And some people are motivated by their own motivation. Other people are motivated to say, hey, my opponent could be at the gym right now. And so I've got to get up and get myself to the gym.
I meant more on like actual interactions. Like, whether it's like a town to town or a school to school rivalry. Like, I think there's a time and a place to be like, we hate East High School.
Right.
It's not all the time, and it's not in every single situation. Like, you should be focused and intense during the game. But when the game is over, then that stuff has to, you have to exhale that stuff as well.
Yeah, and it can be tricky dealing with kids, because sometimes they don't know the difference between the game and after the game.
But do you think Tom Brady turned it off? Like, when he's saying that he looked at Peyton Manning as his enemy and that he had to do that, to stoke these competitive juices or whatever. I mean, off the court, do you think, or off the field, do you think they were really chummy, or do you think he was always holding a little bit back? He says now they're good friends.
Well, I think he was able to turn it off when he was asked, hey, what do you think about Peyton Manning this week? He's like, that Peyton Manning's a great player, and I love what he's doing over there in Indy.
So he can lie in a press conference.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you turn it off. Where, if he wanted to treat him like his enemy the whole time, he'd be like, oh, that scumbag. I can't wait to knock his block off.
But what do you think he said the week of with teammates?
Oh, yeah, you're saying
you're bad-mouthing him.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to kill him. Yeah, which is what he should be saying.
Yeah, but if they're walking down in a hallway in opposite directions, you should say hello, not ignore them and do a shoulder bump and keep going.
Well, the funny thing is, in the NBA, they're all best friends now, too.
Yeah.
They all came up in AAU together. Yeah, I know, but it's like basketball. I think when you fight all game and afterwards, the best players are kind of bond over that in a way.
Well, you talk about your favorite, Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba.
Yeah, but he was an exception to the rule, I think. I don't think a lot of players. Jordan did not operate like Kobe. Jordan, because he was so much better, he didn't have to do any of that. He was good friends with everybody.
Yeah. Well, Jordan used that also as Pat Riley thought it was like a mind game.
Yeah, he was definitely using that.
Patrick Ewing, my little buddy over here, and then he cut your throat. Same thing with Charles.
He did
Barkley.
to Reggie early in his career too.
I think Bill Russell used to do that to Chamberlain too, right? He would invite him over and stuff like that, try to soften him up.
There's a scene in that show about the Lakers winning time where Dr. J gets Magic drunk earlier in the show to try and soften him up. Yeah, but no, I don't know. This Tom Brady, obviously Tom Brady and Kobe Bryant are exceptions. They're 100. They're insane. And in the best possible way, but I don't think the reality works like that. Listen, when we were in high school and there was the best player on our team and the best player on our team, on the other team, they might have fought really hard, but those guys are bonding after the game. They're probably going to go off to Villanova together. Basketball has an AAU culture behind it too. That's different.
True too. A lot of these guys have played together or are playing together if you're in high school. Sometimes playing together literally at the same time as they're competing.
Yeah,
emphatic head nod.
If you ever look behind the scenes in the NBA, they are all super tight. It's wait, how did they know each other so well? There's very few people who are exceptionally close. I think. And LeBron is friends with everyone. Who's LeBron not friends
You're
with?
right. I mean, I see it every time that I cover high school sports, high school basketball. And all these guys play AAU in the New York City area. And, after the game, they're all dapping each other up because they've been playing hoops for so long.
They're more loyal to their AAU friends to their high school team. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Because that gets you recruited.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean,
I just think that's also been used as people saying sports isn't like it used to be.
Definitely.
And there used to be real rivalries, and guys used to have legit bad blood with each other and beef, like Isaiah and Jordan, and even Larry Bird and Jordan. There could be respect there, but Larry was not friendly. Jordan was not friendly.
Yeah.
I think there were real rivalries, and now it's not like that.
Yeah. Did LeBron kill it? Maybe it was LeBron.
Can't blame him for that.
Well, I'm just saying. You're right. The SGA. Well, who on earth would be rival? Joker. Giannis?
I think could be the next rivalry in basketball? Canadians versus Americans.
Oh.
That's brewing a little bit.
I know it's happened in hockey.
It was great in hockey. The Four Nations Cup was dynamite.
Can't see
because
that.
you remember when Dylan Brooks and Draymond had their spat, what was one of the things Draymond mentioned? I'm a gold medalist, and you guys in Canada will never win a gold medal.
Yeah,
you guys
but
are
you're
losers.
picking the craziest individual in the entire country for both countries.
I know, but I'm just saying those guys can lead the charge, especially if Canada.
Nobody's following Dylan Brooks.
No, but people are following Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So I'm saying if that becomes a thing, I think that's our only shot.
Don't forget
is
RJ
making
Barrett.
it a country thing.
Can you imagine our two biggest exports here? Draymond Green. Let's all follow the ways of Draymond. He's adjusted.
Our two diplomats, Draymond Green from U.S. and Dylan Brooks from Canada.
The Draymond Green show with Baron Davis must go on.
Those tariffs are staying if those two guys are leading the negotiations.
Yeah, they're escalated.
Yeah, it's really going to be a war between Jamal Murray and I don't even know.
Combination.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. No, this is not happening. The Canadians, I don't know how they got all that hockey animosity. They're so nice, right?
It's all right below the surface. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Bogues, want to hang? We've been so busy talking about whether or not you should be enemies with your rivals or just rivals. So much to do, including we will tell you who is in danger of having the biggest drop-off this college football season. Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
Maggie's got some giant feet, they're the talk of the town. When she walks the sidewalk cracks, she's bringing buildings down. She tried to buy some shoes, but they said no way. Now she's wearing boat sails just to get through the day. Maggie's giant feet, they're a real big deal. Stepping on poles, creating lakes for real. Maggie's giant feet, they make a mighty thud. But Maggie just laughs, hey, it's all in good fun. She went to a dance, cleared out the floor. Her feet made the music, folks yell for more. At the beach she's a hit, making giant sand castles. Her footprint's so big, they're like dinosaur battles. She went to a dance, cleared out the floor.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Did not begin well for Shohei Ohtani.
The 0-1 pitch is swung on and hit a ton. Byron Buxton unloads. Hello, Ohtani. That ball is gone. And Byron Buxton has done it again. 1-0 Minnesota Twins. First home run allowed this year by Shohei Ohtani.
On the second pitch he threw at Dodger Stadium last night, but the Twins didn't score again. Only 2 more hits over 3 against Ohtani, and he put the Dodgers ahead for good on his own.
The 2-1, and Ohtani blasts it, tosses the bat. That ball is way gone toward the batter's eye. We got a unicorn sighting in Los Angeles.
Steven Nelson on Dodgers radio. LA a 5-2 win over the Twins to snap a 6-game home skid. The bad news is closer Tanner Scott left in the 9th inning with a stinging sensation in his left forearm.
Oh, no.
He is headed for an MRI.
So I feel like all the Shohei should go pitch and hit guys here in the studio are going to use last night as a singular piece of evidence is why. But let's face it, since Shohei started pitching, the team stinks. They can't hit at all because Shohei is not leading the way. So I'm sticking to you should just make Shohei a hitter. I don't think that they need to disrupt all that at all. Because they've been terrible, right, for the last month. They haven't couldn't hit the side of a barn. I think Shohei's got to hit and be the best hitter in baseball. So I don't think that the occasional start really moves the needle the way you guys do.
Okay, but it can't be all Shohei's fault that everyone's not hitting. It's baseball. They're professionals.
Yeah, baseball is. Once you see your best hitter not hit, it's contagious.
There's a team of all-stars.
That's baseball.
No, that's not baseball. Everyone on this team, it was the NL All-Star team, was the Dodgers.
So you say it's pure coincidence that they started moving Shohei to pitching and the whole team forgot how to hit? I don't know, because you're not as scared of Shohei anymore. His numbers are dipping. Although last night apparently he was awesome.
Yeah, he has 3 home runs and 7 RBIs over his last 3 games.
Also, maybe you gotta give him a minute. Like maybe this little small swoon he was in, like he'll get back hot again, and then the Dodgers will be fine.
Well, I don't know. I'm going by what Smoltz said during the All-Star game. Like it's definitely going to affect his hitting if he's pitching. And he said throughout his career the numbers have dipped when he pitches.
Okay, but what about what he can add to the team if he's pitching in the postseason?
I understand, but a day-to-day basis, is he really going to be as a starter? Is he going to be able to make the same impact if he's not hitting the same way in every game? It's just it's pure math. You play 4 games as a hitter, just 1 as a pitcher.
But he does both.
They won a World Series with a bullpen game.
They also won the World Series with him being hobbled, so they didn't need his bat as much either.
Yeah, that's true.
So
the Brewers blanked the Mariners last night 6-0 for an 11-game win streak. The Giant losing streak is 6 after a 9-5 final in Atlanta. Salvador Perez, 2 homers, 4 RBI. The Royals roughed up the Cubs at Wrigley 12-4. And the Cardinals won in Colorado 6-2. That is loss number 76 in game 100 for the Rockies.
Is that bad?
The Chargers are reportedly signing running back and returner Nyheim Hines, who hasn't played a game in 2 seasons. Hines, when he was a Bill, suffered a torn left ACL 2 Julys ago when he was hit by a personal watercraft.
Right.
That's a jet ski, right?
I think it was, yes.
Okay.
Wow.
He spent last season with the Browns, but was never healthy enough to play before being released in February.
Did we have him on the show, Maggie?
I think so.
He was really cool. I'm rooting for Nyheim Hines. I did not know he was taken out by a jet ski. This is news to me. But let's go. Team Hines. No? Anybody?
I mean, the Bills traded for him and gave him some money, and then unfortunately he got hurt.
So he'll never win Maggie back.
No, actually,
Didn't do enough.
Actually, he is responsible for a really amazing Bills highlight, if I'm remembering this correctly. Right after the DeMar Hamlin game, he returned 2 touchdowns to the house against the New England Patriots. And by the way, they needed those to beat the Patriots that day. That was when Belichick was still the coach, obviously. He has a major place in.
All right.
Well, he has a place in Bills lore for sure. Great call by Jim Nantz that day too. I'm sure Tony Romo stepped on it, but
Go Bills.
said something like it's fate.
I've already forgotten. Who'd he sign with again?
Chargers.
Got it. Let's go.
Chris Paul returning to the Clippers for his 21st and likely last NBA season. CP3 has already played 6 seasons for LA, making 5 All-Star games and becoming the franchise leader in assists. And the Fever have officially ruled out Caitlin Clark for tonight's game with the Liberty because of that new right groin strain. New York is getting back Jonquel Jones, who's been out since mid-June with an ankle issue. Mags, back to you.
WNBA Finals back on.
Bogusch, thank you. All right, the college football team, Pearl, that you think is going to have the biggest fall off this year. Would you like me to go first?
You
want to go?
Yeah, good. No, please go first.
So I'm circling Tennessee here, the Volunteers, and it was only a couple months ago, feels like not that long ago, that there was a switcheroo with quarterbacks between UCLA and Tennessee because Nico Iamaleava, they were expected to come back, had an NIL issue. So he's off to UCLA. Now Joey Aguilar, who never even took a snap for UCLA, but was from Appalachian State, now in for Tennessee. And they finished the season last year, Pearl, ranked 9th in the AP poll. Obviously, they made the college football playoff. They went to Ohio State. It went poorly there. Their schedule is tough because it's the SEC, so of course it's tough. It's not insane. They do have to, obviously Georgia. They're going to play, of course, Alabama. Like, they have a lot of tough ones on the schedule. Avoid LSU this year, but I don't know. I don't think they're making the college football playoff, and I think that would represent a fall off. What do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little faith in Josh Heupel as a good coach, but I'll go personal here. I'm throwing a shot. Miami Hurricanes. And I'll tell you one reason why. His name is Carson Beck. I do not love this guy, and their schedule is a lot harder than last year when they should have made the playoff. I will give you that. Last year was ridiculous not to put Cam Ward in. But come on, Carson Beck in all these big games, you don't think he's going to fold? And I turn to Hurricane fan EJ. I'm nervous about the Canes.
So is EJ.
Why are you doing this to me?
EJ's not sold on Carson Beck either. Not to speak for you, EJ, but you're not waving the pom-poms for Beck. And he's still hurt.
Yeah. I mean, well, we'll see. Hopefully he'll be ready for camp. I mean, but it's the schedule. They played Florida last year and they won. They have Notre Dame this year, so it makes it harder. But I think the ACC schedule actually turned out to be okay. They still don't got Clemson.
But they have SMU. It's still really good, too.
Yeah, a lot of former Miami guys on there, so that should be a fun game. I think Miami will be fine. I'm not too concerned. They won 10 games last year. I think they're probably hovering around 9-10 this year.
I mean, they're loaded except for quarterback. It's a safe bet to go against Carson Beck right now.
Interesting season opener, Sunday, August 31st, against Notre Dame. That's cool.
Massive game.
Little history there, too, which is really cool. Catholics versus convicts, so everyone remembers that. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Coming up, Jerry Jones in his full glory yesterday.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Music, folks yell for more. At the beach, she's a hit, making Living life in 20-second views, scrolling through, he's got no time. Well, down in Town, Texas, there's a football team. Got $1 billion stadium, living the dream, but the fans don't holler.
I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan. I got a little out of control. I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan. I got a little out of control.
Now Bailey rode into town with suspicion in his eyes, saying Kaplan's got a secret and he's hiding it inside. Zach Jobs lost in darkness, Ryan Stream's a mess, Chappelle Wolf's just a spinning wheel. Oh Lord, what a distress. But Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright, like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games.
I got a little out of control. I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan.
Now
I got a
Peter
little out of
Bellotti,
control.
well, he don't
I'm sorry,
show,
Andrew
and that
Kaplan.
man's supposed to be running this show. If there's a tech problem, don't look at me. Ask the guy who's missing more than Tennessee tea. So Davey, my friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make strings fly. But Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright, like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no.
Oh! Yeah! Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, baby! Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, baby!
EVMFE, back in the comments again? Where you hate my music but can't stop listening? You're more loyal than Peter Bellotti is to a time card.
Two minutes remaining.
Nothing is more exciting in training camp than a good quarterback battle. Unfortunately,
Took the wrong quote, now the whole squad's mad. Drag Maggie's name through the dirt so quick when it was Perloff talking all that spit.
Now Steelers Nation's got torches lit, thinking Maggie's lost her wit. But y'all don't fact check for a bit, so let's talk about who's really full of Steelers Depot, get your facts in check. Blame the wrong one, man, show some respect. Perloff said it, but Maggie gets wrecked. Now your credibility's looking suspect. Lifetime contract, yeah, Perloff's take. The Depot's rushing just to make clickbait. Didn't even bother to hit replay. Now Maggie's out here fighting the hate. Now Twitter's wild like she's on crack. Just cause Depot ain't watched the track. Y'all spread a lie, now it won't go back. Hope y'all enjoyed that clown contract. Where's Bellotti? Or still MIA? Calls it a job, but he don't stay. Skip more shifts than Depot skips facts. Maybe he in truth got a secret pact. Now Steelers fans acting like they found
30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Who was going to survive in Cleveland's quarterback room? Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. NFL training camps opening all over this great country of ours, Pearl. And this is without a doubt the most interesting quarterback situation that's going on because there's technically 5 guys in the quarterback room in Cleveland.
Well, that's a technicality, right?
Yeah.
Because there's 4 competing for jobs because you're implying Deshaun Watson's there. He's not ready to go.
He's not ready to go. He's coming off an Achilles, and obviously the owner even admits that the Deshaun Watson contract was a mistake. But at the same time, I'm seeing footage, I'm seeing videos of him working his way back. Now, I don't think he's going to factor into this quarterback battle this year, but there are 5 guys in this quarterback room, and it really makes it very interesting because I'm not necessarily sure that Deshaun Watson's going to stay away from the Browns all year. I have no idea because his contract and are things tied to him working out at the facility. No clue. But let's play a little version of date, mate, eliminate, or, kind of known in other circles as bleep, marry, kill. If you were going to have to pick a starting quarterback for the Browns, the backup quarterback for the Browns, and then who could get cut from that 5-man quarterback room, who do you think and where do you think the chips fall?
So, I don't think they can cut either Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders.
Why?
Well, Dylan Gabriel's a 3rd-round pick. I don't know if the last time a 3rd-round pick got cut. That doesn't happen.
Well, maybe cut or traded. Do you want to just add that?
Who's going to trade for
somebody
Dylan Gabriel?
It'd be an injury.
You'd have to trade like a 7th-round pick. Like, why would you trade a 3rd-round pick for a 7th-round pick?
I'm just saying the person who's going to be the odd man out.
Well, I know. I understand what you're saying. I don't think he will be the odd man out.
Okay,
because
that's fine. So not him.
He is going to be, what's my 3rd thing?
Eliminate.
No. What's
Date, mate, eliminate.
Date, mate, eliminate. So I guess he's the backup.
Okay.
Because basically who are we killing here? I think Joe Flacco is going to beat out Kenny Pickett to be the starter.
Okay.
And then I think Shedeur is the 3rd quarterback. And so the eliminate is Kenny Pickett.
So where in this scenario would be Flacco as the starter, Dylan Gabriel as the backup, and
Shedeur's 3rd string.
Shedor's 3rd string.
Joe
So
Flacco?
Kenny Pickett's the odd man out.
Yes.
Where's he going? Just the street?
So there's 2 options.
Okay.
Or 3 options. Trade for a 7th-round pick, but I don't know if anyone's going to give up a 7th-round pick because they just, what's the point? Cut, or somebody gets, quote-unquote, injured and goes to IR. I am willing to bet that they try to stash 4. We'll see if they can do it. Because they can't put Shedeur on the practice squad. So I think Pickett is the odd man out and most likely cut.
So why they can't put Shedeur on the practice squad because he'll get snatched up by somebody?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you have someone on your practice squad, then another team can go and poach that person.
Right. You're basically, he's a free agent. And also, a 5th rounder to go to the practice squad, that's not usual either. Usually you have a good chance to make the team.
Well, nothing about this has been usual. When it comes to the Browns, they don't do things in a conventional way often. And you can tell because of the first team to ever give out a fully guaranteed contract to a quarterback, and then they were the team that drafted Shedeur Sanders 2 rounds after they had already drafted Dylan Gabriel. Nothing they've done is, you can never really claim to know exactly what they're thinking.
Let me ask you this in the date, mate, eliminate.
Yeah.
You're mating the starter and you're dating the backup, and then you're eliminating somebody.
Yes.
Or do you want to date the starter because they're probably going to lose their job in 3 weeks, and then you marry? The marry would be the long-term answer.
Well, that's why the Browns quarterback situation is so unique because Joe Flacco, you're right, is probably the starter, but he's not the long-term starter.
You're kind of dating Joe Flacco.
You're kind of dating Joe Flacco, even though he's probably all the hopes and dreams of your franchise are resting on his right arm. As we're talking about this Browns quarterback situation, I think that you're right about Joe Flacco. Now, I've said all along, I don't think it's the right move. I think that they should save Joe Flacco because it's a long season, and he was excellent when he came off the couch 2 years ago and guided the Browns to the playoffs. Now, he was terrible in that playoff game. They lost to Houston, but they got to the playoffs. The crowd loved him so much he couldn't come back the next season because they thought he was a threat to Deshaun Watson. I mean, they really got behind Flacco. I do think he wins the starting job, even though I would not write it out that way. I think that Pickett is there. I think he's the backup. They already traded for Pickett. I think they want Pickett. I think maybe they did an evaluation that saw him also as a first-round quarterback, a couple of years ago. I'm sure they did some work on Kenny Pickett, and maybe they feel like he still has a lot to give. And I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be the third string, which means I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be the odd man out here. And I know Shedeur has appointed himself well, and outside, I guess, the speeding tickets, like he seems like he's, acclimating really well to the pros. He did a nice charity thing the other day that I saw online that got a lot of attention. So showing up when people really needed some help. I think he's going to be gone. I think he's going to be on another team, and I think it's going to be one of the big stories either heading into the opener or whenever it does go down, that Shedeur Sanders is somewhere else.
Give me the mechanics of how that works. You mean, say there's an injury and somebody wants to bring in a new backup?
Yeah, or maybe the Browns realize that, keeping 4 quarterbacks is maybe not the best idea, or they don't want to, or maybe you get an update on Deshaun. I don't know how it's going to go down, but I believe in my bold prediction for this upcoming season that Shedeur's on a different team.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure another team is going to come after him. Like how, again, you're not going to cut him.
So here's the thing about Shedeur. When he dropped to the 5th round, there's really not a lot of people who believe that he tumbled all the way down because of football. The football would have been low first round, second round, something like that, right?
Well, I mean, the football wasn't good enough that he could overcome the other stuff. Right. He wasn't like an elite top 3 prospect is what the NFL decided.
Sure, but the evaluation wasn't 5th round.
No, probably not. Quarterbacks are funny, but yeah, probably 3rd round.
Okay, maybe, but second is kind of what we heard a lot of before. Well, we heard everything before the draft, but kind of as more kind of dripped and drab leaked out, it was more like he was never a first rounder, maybe late first round, but more like second round or third round.
Right,
that's not 5th.
Right, sure.
So I think there is a team out there who just wanted to see maybe what he'd be like when he got into an NFL facility.
Yeah.
And maybe is keeping lines of communication open with the Browns or whoever would have drafted him to say, hey, we actually would like him as a backup, or we actually would like to bring him in at some point. And so I think that this is always a possibility because, again, his fall in the draft was so stunning because we just had watched him at Colorado. And you can nitpick the going backwards and you can nitpick some of the X's and O's stuff, but he has like talent and we knew that. And I'm not going to revisionist history this thing that, all along he was a 5th round. He had 5th round talent. That's not what anyone was saying.
So, but here's my question. What team would have a more wide open quarterback room and want to take a shot on Shedeur Sanders than the Cleveland Browns? Like, name another situation that's better.
It's just too crowded. That's the thing. It's not that it's not
I mean, so he's going to be a strictly backup somewhere, and someone else is going to bring him in as our 3rd string quarterback? I guess you like, I don't know. And how are you going to get him? Are you going to trade for him?
I can tell you the team that I think it's going to be, if you'd like to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
The team who's got a starting quarterback who is notoriously and famously injured all the time. Tua. And they have Zach Wilson as the backup, and Miami bringing in Shedeur.
Okay.
And listen, I think it makes some sense if Tua gets hurt that they would be trying to find somebody who's going to be a backup for, I don't know who the 3rd string is for Miami right now, but anyway, I could see that also the Dolphins would probably be doing work on quarterbacks, even though they gave Tua that money. They have to always be thinking now, who's the next guy? And also, the owner of the Miami Dolphins loves stars. He's one of those guys where I think the last name or having Dion around or whatever is not going to be intimidating. I think he likes that.
Tua usually gets hurt during the season. Are you talking a little later?
We'll see. Maybe Tua gets hurt in training camp. I don't know. I'm not wishing this, by the way. I'm just looking at who is vulnerable in the quarterback space, and Tua has to come to mind.
I feel like with Mike McDaniel's on a hot seat, and I just think that's a lot to bring in there. Also, they have Quinn. They just took Quinn Ewers, and they have Zach Wilson. So I don't know if there's room there.
Listen, I don't know if Quinn Ewers what his situation is because he's injured a lot as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a little bit of Shedeur quality, like super, super productive with college quarterback who sort of fell in the draft. Yeah, I mean, I think Cleveland's a perfect situation for Shedeur in a way too. If they didn't have Dylan Gabriel there, they'd be thrilled. I think Shedeur, it seemed like, according to Mary,
they chose Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
before Shedeur.
Well, I'm just saying, I think Cleveland saw Shedeur Sanders in minicamp and like, whoa, he's better than we thought. I think they're pleasantly surprised. Like, why wouldn't they hold on to this guy as an asset and try and trade him later on? Maybe there's a trade, but he's a 5th-round pick. If you just got him in the 5th round, someone says, I'll give you a 7th rounder for him, you're a GM. You're not going to do that.
Right, but you just said putting him on practice squad doesn't do anything.
You can't
either.
do that either.
Well,
No,
they
I
traded
know.
for Kenny Pickett also, Pearl. So
But they traded a
gave up
7th
an
rounder
asset
for
for him.
That's what, 7th?
I think it was actually. I thought it was a 5th, but
Yeah.
I'll double check it.
Yeah, I mean they're only paying him $4 million, and they're paying Flacco $4 million. So I think they set it up so they can cut one of the veterans. So I mean, and that's I think Sanders and Gabriel are both safe, and they both played. They both had really promising signs in minicamp. Apparently, Gabriel is like mastering the playbook, and Shador throws a beautiful pass. You're Cleveland, like what? Why would you commit all this to Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco? And the funny thing is, you just want to draft a quarterback the next way out of you. You're not bringing in Joe Flacco. If you start out 2-5, then you're going to want to end up 2-15, right? I mean, isn't that the whole goal of this? So I think you're going to want to try out both rookies this year. This is a tryout year for Sanders and Gabriel. This is not about winning games.
Cleveland, by the way, sent Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a 5th-round pick from the Lions to the Eagles for Kenny Pickett.
Oh, it was a 5th. You win some, you lose some. Maybe Flacco gets cut, but I mean, put up that poll. Who's more likely to get cut of the 4? I think it's got to be a veteran.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So how do you think the Cleveland Browns quarterback room is going to shake out? Who will be the starter? Who will be the backup? And who's going to be the odd man out? Let's get to some nicknames.
From the fridge to the great one, it's Maggie and Perloff's search for the greatest nickname in sports.
New region unlocked for you to go vote right now. The Flash and Fun region of the Maggie and Perloff greatest sports nickname of all time bracket is live, Perloff, and the number 1 seed in this region is Big Papi.
What's up, Big Papi? So how was your trip to the White House?
Oh, it was good, man. We have a big lunch.
You get a big lunch.
Oh, yeah, we have empanadas, tostones, beefsteak and cocoa, shrimp mofongo, arroz con leche, y chicharrón con jamón.
You had all that at the White House.
That's what I say, man. Big Dominican lunch with Big Papi.
It's Kenan Thompson, obviously, playing Big Papi on SNL. Big Papi faces off against the 9 seed, the Fridge, who has been obviously one of the faves in this tournament. Low seed. So now this 1-9 matchup, very, very interesting. The 12th seed in this region is Beast Mode. Of course, that's Marshawn Lynch. Faces off against the 4 seed, Shaq Diesel.
Experience the musical world of a multi-talented Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq Diesel is the platinum debut album from the 1993 Rap Rookie of the Year, Shaquille O'Neal, featuring the slam dunk singles I'm Outstanding.
Fun fact, Shaq is a platinum selling rapper.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Pro?
Got that right.
I'm not surprised. I remember he did sell. Platinum's the best, right?
Yep.
Better than gold?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
The 6th seed in this region is Dr. J, Julius Irving.
Oh, I've been Dr. J since my first year with the Virginia Squires. And when they started to promote our team, Charlie Scott was our best player.
Charlie
Scott from North Carolina. So they would list Charlie the Great Scott featuring Julius Dr. J. Irving and the Virginia Squires. So he had the marquee, and they put Dr. J up there, and it stuck.
Dr. J, heavyweight matchup against the 3 seed in this region. Prime time. Deion Sanders, now just Coach
What about
Prime.
Shiloh?
Always wondered about Shiloh. The 10 seed in this region, the human highlight film, of course, that's Dominique.
Loose ball picked off by Rollins. Looks like the Hawks want to run. They find Wilkins. Look out.
Dominic Wilkins. He almost ripped the glass apart on that one.
Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight film.
So funny, small thing. I always thought it was the human highlight reel with Dominique. I don't know why, but I'm corrected. The human highlight film is up against the 2 seed, the round mound of rebound.
When a guy's banging you.
So there you go.
What was that drop?
That's a Charles. All right, so there you go. That Flash and Fun region is now live. And shall we do some results as well, EJ? Let's go. The Legends and Legacy region, the Maggie and Perloff greatest nicknames of all time. Pearl, just a slaughter. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, gets 90% of the vote to wash away the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
The great one.
A little closer, the 12th seed, the Galloping Ghost. Of course, that's Red Grange. Narrowly squeaks by the Flying Dutchman, Honus Wagner. This one was tight, 51% to 49%.
The Galloping Ghost.
The 6th seed is Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose.
I gave Joe DiMaggio a shower.
I asked for that. Losing to the Great Bambino.
The Great Bambino!
And the 2 seed in this region also moving on. The Say Hey Kid Willie
The
Mays
Say Hey Kid.
beats out the Yankee Clipper.
I gave Joe DiMaggio a shower.
We can play that twice. So now it will be the Great One against the Galloping Ghost, and it will be the Great Bambino against the Say Hey Kid.
You know, it's legacies and legend. Do you think people were thinking, anybody thinking Paul Hornung is the golden boy? Because he was a huge historical figure in NFL history.
That is true.
Whatever, because these old names are all getting killed. Yankee Clipper, Iron Horse, never stood a chance.
That's unnecessary.
Well, the Great Bambino is doing great, though.
The Great yeah, that's true.
The Great Bambino!
Say Hey Kid, by the way, performing really strong. That is a great nickname.
Fantastic. So that's some results
I thought
for
you said the Great Bambi.
We should also mention again that the Flash and Fun region, which is headlined by Big Papi as the number 1 seed, that is now open for voting. We're also asking you today about the Browns quarterback room. Who's going to be the starter? Who's going to be the backup? And who's going to be left out of a group of technically 5 individuals? And we think Deshaun Watson, well, we know he's recovering from an Achilles. We just don't know what his future holds. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, or Shedeur Sanders. So tell us who's going to start, who will be the backup, and who's going to be the odd man out. Outside of Deshaun. That's
we put up a poll. It's a slaughter.
That Kenny Pickett's going to be the guy?
Pickett's leading.
That he'll be the guy who's gone.
Yeah, who's mostly get cut? Pickett 40%, Dylan Gabriel 29%, Joe Flacco 27%, 2% say Shedeur. Well, Shedeur is popular. The Browns might want to read that poll before they cut him.
Remember the load of BS that they tried to sell us right after the draft? And they're like, he's just like any other 5th-round pick. No, he's not.
I mean, you do see these highlights, and we have eyes. I mean, they're just camp highlights, but the guy can clearly throw a football.
Do you see when he was at that fast food restaurant doing drive-thru, which is what every rookie or player does when they first get to a new city? He was doing drive-thru, I think, last weekend. And some guy pulls up and he's like,
he didn't recognize Kirk Cousins either.
Yeah, he ran over. He walked up to him. He's like, "Oh, like you're gonna be starting over that bum Joe Flacco." And he's like, "No, Joe Flacco's my guy. Don't say that." Which is kind of cool that he stood up for Joe Flacco, but like it shows you the fans of Cleveland had no problem talking about how much they love Shedeur and bashing the other guys.
I mean, what happened? Joe Flacco 2 years ago was like the savior.
I was surprised. I'll be honest.
I mean, these Browns playoff appearances don't come around that often. You're really going to badmouth Joe Flacco?
Wait, who bad? This is one person?
This was a fan, yeah.
Yeah, it's one fan.
I know,
what happened? Like, how did Cleveland fall out of love with Joe Flacco based on this one clip?
I mean, a bum, though. Ouch. What Joe Flacco ever do to you besides come in and throw touchdowns all over the place and get you to a playoff game and he threw 3 interceptions?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Joe Flacco. His whole Cleveland tenure, everything got caught just by one team or the other.
This is not delineating who caught those passes. What does it matter? Okay, coming up next, lots to do, including we have details for you on a very dicey quarterback situation. And, of course, Jerry Jones is in the middle of it. It's Maggie Perloff.
What about Junior?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need some.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Trying to figure out the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation. They actually report to camp today and practice tomorrow. It is going to be, I feel like there's going to be more attention in Cleveland's practice than all other 31 teams combined. And I'm absolutely not joking. I think this is the entire story of the NFL offseason.
Well, that and Micah Parsons' contract that Jerry Jones was talking about yesterday and kind of stepped in it when he sideswiped Dak Prescott. So that will always.
Parsons.
No, I mean, honestly, I think we all know that's ending up with $41 million on August 29th.
Yeah, Mike will be very rich. Person.
I think we're about to see a C. But the thing about Jerry, like we've been talking about it, it's like, okay, business as usual here, which means ridiculousness.
Yeah, the Browns' dysfunction is also not a weird business as usual.
Yeah, but there's no actual highlights of we're going to see Shador throw. Like Jerry, I don't know. Jerry threw out a bunch of bullets yesterday, right? Is he going to continue on? Like, are we going to still care as this goes on? Are we going to be able to keep this attention going?
Well, we have a poll question for you. Do you still find Jerry Jones interesting? Because
did you see the results?
I did not.
84% say no.
That's not good.
So, and I was trying to say, yeah, he's still interesting. I just think that yesterday they had this flurry of activity, and I think that Jerry threw his punch, Micah threw his punch back. Can you explain how?
Yeah, sure. So Jerry was like 99% positive about Micah Parsons. I don't want to paint this like it was the war of words, but Jerry was very positive, but had to kind of get in this quip, which then got kind of interpreted as a negative.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
Yeah.
I love the way he's explained to us. Like we have no idea. He's like, no, seriously, he was out. And he had you said earlier in the show he had the wrong number of games. I didn't even realize that. It's like, did you know that Dak Prescott got hurt too? Yeah, they cover the Cowboys. They're aware of these injuries,
Seriously.
Jerry.
Well, also, newsflash, it's football. Guys are going to get hurt all the time.
Yeah.
So
Seriously.
Yeah.
this is, and guys who, whether they get hurt or they don't get hurt, you're paying them. So that'd be the other thing. Like, you can regret it now. You're the one who gave them the huge contracts. No one's crying for you. And no one said if you had just gotten deals done earlier and you had actually done this proactively, then maybe you're not paying Dak Prescott $60 million. Maybe he's not the highest paid quarterback by average annual value per year. Like, there's things in your power that you're just not doing, Jerry. But anyway, why that got sort of went viral, if you will, is that J.J. Watt took that clip and soundbite and sent out a tweet on X that said, anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before the season begins, you just got to take it. Obviously dripping with sarcasm here.
Little J.J. Watt, that's what we used to call him.
Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing about how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. So, and Micah Parsons retweeted that.
Yeah, I mean, can this energy last throughout the entire month of training camp? Like, are they going to keep on quibbling here? We know what's going to happen. He's going to get paid. Jerry always does this. He always does this. So maybe we should be above the fray. Maybe we should be the first show in America who's not going to buy into this Jerry Jones drama.
And instead, we're going to focus solely on the Browns.
That's a good
the
one.
other America's circus. And so, to bring it back to the Browns, which you said open training camp today, you said?
Well, they report today. I think they practice for the first time tomorrow, if I read it right. So that's when the videos are going to start coming in. I mean, listen, the Browns are the first training camp, mini camp ever where people were actually keeping their statistics. I mean, you realize like basically he was having a catch with the long snapper, and there was like, well, he went 5 for 5 on that one. It is going to be insane. But you could be right. Maybe Micah and Jerry, they always come up with something unexpected. By the way, Micah's part of this too. Totally. That dude loves camera. He loves to talk. He loves social media. So maybe it'll be interesting. But you think he's going to get signed, right? Like, you don't think we're doing like a real holdout into the season, Chris Jones style?
No, I've got 2 predictions.
Yeah.
I've got one that Micah Parsons is definitely going to sign. Maybe it's like Dak Prescott. Maybe it's the morning of the opener against your Philadelphia Eagles. And that's going to be that Thursday night opener. Maybe it's then. Maybe it's a week before. Who knows? But yes, I think that's going to happen. And my other prediction for the Browns, a little more out there, I think Shador is going to be the odd man out. And I do think he's going to land on another team. I'm predicting that team could be the Miami Dolphins. I don't have the exact time, but if I'm looking at vulnerable starters Tua is vulnerable, and I'm not rooting for it by any means, but he's gotten hurt, and it won't happen in a practice because it's like concussions and when he takes major hits, so that would only be during live games. But at some point, I think that Shador is going to find his way to Miami. That's my prediction.
If there's the other thing, too, you have next year's draft, which is supposed to be really good, which is a major factor in Cleveland. I saw a report that Cleveland's obsessed with Arch Manning, or at least a speculation from Cleveland radio that this is all about Arch. That's why I think they give the rookies a tryout. Like, this year should not be viewed, unless they start off really hot, this should be viewed as like, hey, let's see if we got anything with Dylan Gabriel. Let's see if we got anything with Shador. And then we have both our pick and the Jags pick next year. Let's get all in on a quarterback. So that's in the background here, which, by the way, could confirm your theory. Maybe they get rid of Shador because they're like, well, we want a new quarterback anyway next year.
You just laid out like a very promising kind of upside for the Browns, right? And before the whole Shador thing, a lot of us, including on this show, were praising the Browns for how they worked the draft, right? How they traded. I mean, we love Travis Hunter, but to trade him and to get the extra pick for next year, generally we were like, wow, look at the Browns. Like, that was a really heads up move.
Yeah.
Isn't there just this feeling as you're laying that out? I'm like, there is an inevitability here that they will mess this up.
Well, I mean, it's dicey. I mean, we've seen a lot of teams try to tank and not work out.
But just even if they do, or they pick the wrong guy, and then when they actually do get the number one pick and they do pick a guy who is a starter in this league and a good one, and Baker Mayfield, they jettison him because they were chasing this Deshaun Watson, fantasy.
Yeah,
as it turns out.
Well, I mean, how could it go wrong with Arch, though? If they did land Arch, I don't see, maybe I'm overexcited, like that's going to work.
Also, I don't think Arch is coming out next year.
Well, that's the problem.
2 years in college
That's
as the starter. Yeah.
But listen, there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks next year. Yeah, I honestly, I don't see them ever getting Arch. And I don't even think Arch will be definitely the number one pick.
Arch is coming out.
Let's get to Bogusch.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bogusch.
I'll bet you Showbet Lagway goes 1, Arch 2. I'll bet you that's very possible, too. That Arch is in the super
What year?
class. In 2027, if Arch goes back, and Sellers they say might go back too, so it's going to be the super draft. You're right, Cleveland will screw it up, but maybe they'll get Kate Klubnik or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like this is not necessarily about winning football games, which that's why I think Kenny Pickett says bye bye.
While we wait on all of that, let us talk about some baseball winning streaks. The second longest win streak of this season now belongs to the Milwaukee Brewers.
First pitch to Churio, and it's a fly ball to center. Turning around is Rodriguez back at the track. It's off the very top of the wall. Yelich galloping around third. Here's the throw home. And Yelich in there with that left hand safely. 3-0 Milwaukee.
Jeff Levering on Brewers Radio.
Just a bit outside.
Jackson Churio's RBI double had Milwaukee halfway to a 6-0 win in Seattle. That is 11 victories in a row. Brandon Woodruff allowed just 2 hits over 6 last night.
Proud to be a part of it, It's fun when you're winning, and, I think each and every day you come to the field, it's like your mind doesn't want to go, well, when's it going to stop? I think we're in a spot now where we're continuing to play good baseball.
The Brewers join the Tigers on 60 wins, and they take a 1-game lead in the NL Central since the Cubs took a 12-4 home loss from the Royals. The Blue Jays, meanwhile, 4 games clear of the Yankees atop the AL East because they can't lose in Toronto right now.
And this is hooked to left field, and it's into the corner. Springer is in to score. Guerrero is getting the wave. And he'll come into a 2-run double for Bichette to give the Blue Jays the lead.
That's the wonderful Dan Schulman on Jays TV. The Bo Bichette 2-run double, part of a 4-run fifth, which fueled a 4-1 win over the Yanks. Toronto has now won 11 straight in Toronto and 17 of 21 overall.
It's all over.
I'm not consoling a Yankee fan. Back to you, Bugs.
Well, and they're going to win tonight 3-1. We're going to get World Series back on.
Damn right you will.
An Instagram story.
Oh, yeah. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to like it, too.
I'm not.
I have no sympathy for men.
Yeah. Period. Full stop.
Manny Rodriguez, that is.
No. Names don't matter.
Actually, I have more sympathy for Manny than anybody, just not his Yankee fandom.
Who the bleep is Manny Rodriguez? Why does Manny get more sympathy than the rest of us?
Because he's still looking for love.
I'm a lonely loser. Any other questions? Keep going with your update, you.
We're still trying to find the perfect woman for Manny.
Oh, jeez.
See that my efforts.
Perloff's given up on me.
No, listen.
Jelena Brunson alive somewhere?
God, I hope so.
Can we get an update from EJ, please, on how's it going behind the scenes with a potential setup with one of Andrea's coworkers?
Yeah, so we tried to work this out. The woman was approached. She says that she is very flattered about the opportunity. But she was currently seeing a guy that she just started seeing a few days, and she wants to see that through before giving anyone else an opportunity. So,
Likely story.
So Manny got shot down and he didn't even get into the game.
This is
He wasn't even asking for it and somehow got rejected.
This is not a shutdown. This was an approach, and they were like, "Great, I love this idea, but I just went on a couple of dates with this guy."
This feels like going winless in the summer league. You're not really in the NBA, but you kind of are, and then you get dismissed.
Listen, this has nothing to do with Manny. She found some guy. Don't worry, she'll be back. This one's not going to last.
Not worried. I got Aaron James Judge and Jalen Marquis Brunson to keep me satisfied.
No, you can't date this woman, by the way. She's seen a picture of you and decided to go with the other guy.
Yeah.
No,
She's
I
out.
can't confirm she saw any pictures of Manny.
She's out.
I think she was just approached about now, like, we like this guy.
I thought you said on air that she saw a picture.
She was open to being set up.
Did you say that she saw him operating?
No, I said she was open to being set up.
Okay. I thought we got some clips.
Yeah, that was.
Clips were sent to her friend, which is what I told you guys.
Oh, you're right. No, EJ was very straight up about that.
There's a third person involved.
And the third person was like, I like this. Let's make this happen.
Right. You had a gatekeeper.
Yes.
She opened the gate, but then it turns out the woman's seeing somebody. That's not a rejection of Manny. I take that back.
This is not a rejection. No,
I can't believe that didn't work out. That sounds so simple.
The gate just a game of telephone.
This is like when a max player becomes a free agent and you don't have any cap room.
Well, if we assume that she's telling the truth, and I'm not calling her a liar, but it does seem a polite way to say no thanks, but no thanks to go, I just met someone.
Maybe I'm good now.
And I want to see this through.
Well, maybe I'm good now.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm just telling you what I was told.
Maybe I don't want to see her anymore. How about that one?
Maybe you
think
never
you're
wanted
better
to see
than
her.
me?
Yeah. Want me to come down all the way to Brooklyn?
Oh, that's funny. Well, this is why I'm saying we still have not found the perfect woman for Manny. She's out there.
We still have time. Yes. Manny's still a young man.
I think this is bad. Setups are really, it's a dicey territory. I've never, personally, when I was single, I thought it'd be good to be set up, but it never worked out, especially when a woman set me up. That was a recipe for disaster. I'm sorry.
I've never been set up. And I think I've tried to set other people up. It's tough. It's tough.
You've already missed my pathway.
Yeah.
Meet her at 17, hang around until she's run out of all other options, and then pounce. Like 4.5 years
That's
later.
a curious choice of words.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forget. EJ, were you set up?
No, it was a dating app.
Oh, okay.
Me and Andre met through
Coffee
Meets Bagel. I was giving free promo because I'm now getting married. So
fair.
So shout out to you guys.
I know, but they should honestly.
I will take your money though.
I was gonna say they should be sponsoring your wedding.
Seriously.
I've never heard of that site.
Coffee Meets Bagel. It's funny. I feel like a lot of people will say that's the one they never heard of.
Never heard of it.
I'm not Googling it just in case my wife is using my computer.
Yeah.
She will. You're like, no, it's for the show.
Yeah, it's for
That's
the
about
show.
As,
Trust me, it's about
it's
EJ's
about as
story.
believable about this girl is now suddenly seeing somebody.
Manny strikes me more as a Tinder guy, to be honest. I'm gonna.
Andy, what's your preferred app?
Tinder.
Wow, surprise.
Nailed it.
Maybe if you get on Coffee Meets Bagel, maybe that's where you'll find your person.
That's all right. It's baseball season. You heard him.
Listen, I got Trent Grisham patrolling center field. That's good enough for me.
Should we be focused more on therapy for Manny than a girlfriend?
I can't date your therapist. Everyone knows that.
No, he needs a therapist to date a non-therapist. Or
By the
become a
way,
hypnotist and just trick your way
Hypnotize
into
women?
Yeah.
Maggie said that like it's something she's considered in the past.
No, my therapist is a woman. I do want to bring up something, though, to Bogusch. You mentioned, and we've been talking all the last couple days about the Brewers streak.
Yes.
Amazing. 11 games in a row. And whenever this happens in sports, obviously it's baseball mostly, and I feel like the guys are the most superstitious when it's baseball. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I always think of who's the guy who changed up his routine or something one day. It was like, I decided I'm going to eat this today or something, and that's when the streak started, and now he's just in a prison of his own superstition. Like Jason Giambi always famously had the gold thong that he would
go
wear.
Yankees.
And he would do that as whenever he was in a slump, he would break out the gold thong. But we never asked how long did he wear it once he broke out of the slump. who's the guy who's wearing something as uncomfortable as the gold thong, and now he can't change it because they've won 11 in a row?
I don't know about the Brewers, but I know I did this last night.
Wear a gold thong?
Not a gold thong, but during Jake's game, they had a terrible first inning. I changed my location for watching the game, and they immediately started to rally, and then I wouldn't let myself go back to my seat, so I stood down the left field line along the fence for the next 2+ hours.
So Bogusch brought the binoculars so he could see the game.
Very stitious
Honestly,
of you.
no, you have to do that, though.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah.
And they won. They were down 9-0, and they won 19-12, and it was mostly because of me.
Did you tell Jake that?
I didn't tell Jake that.
He's listening, so.
What
He's not.
How would he react to him saying that? I know you went 2 for 4 and had a double, but it actually was my work.
He actually did go 2 for 4 with 4 RBI last night. Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, big game for Jake.
You've got to find that exact blade of grass, by the way, and be standing right on it next time.
And he was in a slump, so I helped him get dressed, so he was not wearing any kind of Giambi thong, but something worked.
Well, Maggie, you brought up an interesting point. The fans also have to be superstitious. Like, you made wings every time the Bills won, and you rode those wings for an entire season.
I know, but then they kept losing in the playoffs, and now I will not eat wings.
Right.
Go Bills.
So if you're in Milwaukee, I assume there's some sort of beer-related thing.
Or brats.
Yeah, some kind of sausage.
Yeah.
Their brats.
Yeah. But the fans also have superstitions. So somebody is eating something really bad for them in Milwaukee right now.
There are some superstitions that go too far. I'm not sacrificing wings for the Bills.
Eat 5.
I would never.
Eat 5 brats in Sheboygan. Oh, what a great life for a
You're from
Brewers fan
upstate
right now.
New York. How do you
EJ.
sacrifice wings?
And this is why the Jets will never win again.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
Bills never won.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
But at least I'm trying. I'm not sticking with something that I know is bad luck.
Oh, my goodness.
Who makes the wings, you or your mom?
My mom made the first year. That year they lost the 13 seconds game. So then I made them the next year. That's the year they lost to the Bengals.
Because your mom is
over.
Yeah, your mom's a superior cook. So I am definitely all in with EJ. Like, we want more wings.
We could do off-season wings.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, you know about I don't know if the audience knows about the cookies. The biscotti.
Oh,
My mom,
hey,
yeah.
now.
No, she's an excellent baker.
Honestly, like, we should maybe go into business. I know you're not allowed to do that on radio.
She was in business for 35 years. She's
retired.
retired. That's my parents owned a restaurant, catering company, cookie baskets, biscotti, the whole deal, my whole life.
Right, but did she ever nationally market these biscotti? They're like crumble cookie version of biscotti.
She's too busy now.
Listen, guys,
She's too busy.
This is
She's
like
got-
Michael
she's got a
Jordan.
life.
This is like Michael Jordan coming back for the second three-peat.
Yeah.
Perloff is like, let's go.
Max,
Time to put down the baseball bat and make some cookies.
But he wasn't bird sitting, traveling the world. Pam's too busy for this. She's got too much going on. I'll speak for her.
don't you miss that world, the restaurant world, Maggie?
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Or Tom Brady's worst enemies, which we found out was Peyton Manning earlier today in the show. Sports tie. Okay, Bogusch, thank you so much. Coming up, lots to do, including an owner we rarely hear from, so not Jerry Jones, because we hear from him almost daily. An owner we rarely hear from opening up about some contract stuff. We'll get to that.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Hey, Joe Flacco ain't
Nah, bro, the back of my man, bro.
Yeah, but I like Shador more though, you feel me?
Yeah, that's my man, bro.
Hey, you take it easy though,
No,
boss.
appreciate y'all, bro. Let me see y'all.
It's Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Okay, so refresh my memory. That is a recent encounter between Shador Sanders and a fan in Cleveland, okay? Or is a fan who was at the drive-thru?
Yeah, in Cleveland, Ohio, somewhere. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, at KFC drive-thru.
Okay. Obviously, the Sanderses did a big commercial with KFC, right? So tie in there. But here's my thing about that. It's great that Joe's backing or Shador is backing up Joe Flacco, Pearl, right? Doesn't that seem like, oh, that's a good thing? You know, this is right.
Yeah.
He has his back. Who decided to put that video out?
Junior.
That's a great question.
It wasn't the guy. It wasn't the fan who was like, hey, point of view, I met Shador Sanders today, and I put this out, and I called Joe Flacco a bum.
What about Junior?
And then I'm making it go viral. Shador put this out to show what a great teammate he's being. Now, listen, whatever. I can't get too caught up about that. I just want to point it out. But you think Shedor's spot on this roster is way more on firmer ground than I do, is where I think where our big disagreement is.
Yeah, I just can't wrap my head around it. After all this noise, they're going to cut Shedeur Sanders. Also, by all accounts, he looked good in camp. Like, why? If you're going to cut a 5th-round pick, and not cut, you said maybe trade.
Yeah.
But the reality is, like, they have a 5th-round pick who probably outperformed what you thought. Like, that's not the guy that you cut.
I'm just saying it's a crowded quarterback room, and the messaging coming out of the Browns the moment after they took Shedeur was this was a low risk, no risk.
Right.
Like, we're not tied to him at all. And that's what they were messaging through all the Browns reporters. He's just like every other 5th-round quarterback, and we're not, tethered to him. This is not like a 1st-round pick.
Right. But then he came into camp and played very well by all accounts. So there's no risk, but the risk seemed to have paid off. Like, he's a good player. So this is good. They drafted a good player in the 5th round. It is confusing because only one quarterback can play and it's a crowded room. You're right, but why would you cut him?
Well, Dylan Gabriel apparently is also playing very well. And he was taken, 80 spots higher?
I mean, I think the general reporting was Shedeur looked a little better than Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel, I think that is my vibe from reading all the Cleveland reporters, that Shedeur looked a little better. But even so, why would you cut Dylan Gabriel? Don't cut either of them. You drafted both of them.
But they traded for Kenny Pickett also. So, there's been resources spent on everybody, Pearl.
I understand, but at the end of the day, these rookies are going to have guaranteed salary safety for 4 or 5 years. I think they want to take a season-long look at them. It's going to be a year-long tryout in Cleveland. I bet you we see Dylan and we see Shedeur.
Speaking of rookies, so Shamar Stewart is still not signed, Pearl, by the Cincinnati Bengals. Mike Brown was meeting the media yesterday. He said this contract dispute is foolish and it is not about money.
From our vantage point, it's a form of foolishness. It just ought to get done. There is no dispute over the money.
So that is Shamar Stewart again from Texas A&M. Hasn't been signed yet because he won't sign a contract that takes away some of his guaranteed money if there is conduct detrimental to the team. Here's more from Mike Brown.
Just a dispute in his mind that I guess if he did something that really deserved punishment, that he would want the whole contract guaranteed. And we would want to say, well, it isn't guaranteed if you did something to that level. In that case, we would step in and take away the guarantee. Doesn't mean that we couldn't agree to pay it.
What? Right.
Okay.
More from Brown says he doesn't believe he should have to pay somebody if in theory they were in prison, but he doesn't think that's going to happen to Shamar Stewart.
I don't want to pay somebody who hypothetically could be in jail for 4 years at this level of pay. And do I think any of that's going to happen? No. And that's why I use the word foolishness. It's, in my mind, at that level.
Yeah, see, my understanding of this is not about something that would be so devastating that it would lead to a criminal conviction and someone being in jail. My understanding is that Shamar Stewart doesn't want to sign something where he can have money clawed back for conduct detrimental to the team, which could be an umbrella of, like, many things could fall under that umbrella. That was my understanding. I could be wrong about this. But, yeah, I don't think you're going to pay somebody if they're sitting in a jail cell.
I have no idea how that works with the contracts. I mean, it's pretty a radical thought to think Shamar Stewart will be in a jail cell.
Well, he's saying he doesn't think that. This is why
but
Shamar
even to bring
Stewart
it up, though, I know he
wanna...
doesn't think that, but even to bring it up is like, wait, what? I mean, listen, he did have, remember they had that team with a bunch of characters like Chris Henry and Chad Johnson back in the day was a little wilder.
Pac-Man Jones?
Yeah, Pac-Man Jones, right, Pac-Man Jones. Like, Mike Brown's seen some things, but there's not a single indication Shamar Stewart's going to be a problem.
What? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Who can claim to have the upper hand in the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry right now? Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Why are we talking about this? The middle of July. It's Big Ten Media Days kickoff today, Pearl. Ryan Day's going to be at the podium speaking a little bit later today. Michigan, I believe, is Thursday. It's going to be a 3-day affair. But obviously you got the last two national champs. But you have Michigan right now, you know, having the most recent success in the rivalry. And we were talking earlier about Ryan Day and whether or not the national championship has actually provided any cover for him in the fact that he is 1-4 against Michigan as a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people might be talking about that. I think that's bananas. Like, he doesn't need cover. Dude's a national champion. Like, if he's not on high, then who is going to be on high?
Well, I just ask you this question, and I understand that Jim Harbaugh was legendary as a Michigan player, then came back to coach, but it was rough there for a minute for Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, because he wasn't winning anything.
Right. Then they, have the whole Connor Stallions thing, and then he does win a national championship, but then goes and leaves for the NFL. If Harbaugh had stayed and it had looked more like it did the first 7 years that Harbaugh was there, the first, 5 years when Harbaugh was there, they were ready to run him out of town in Michigan. Let's not rewrite the story. So my point is
he wasn't sniffing the playoff, let alone a title. When they were ready to run him off, they weren't even close.
I know, but then he won. How long do you think the fan base, how patient would they have been if let's say, things had fallen off? And I'm not saying that Ohio State's going to fall off here. I just think you look at the relationship between the fan base of Ohio State, the diehards, and Ryan Day, and it has not been great. And you know what? He has been close to getting to a national championship. C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields, these guys were right there when it was a lot harder to make the college football playoff, and it was only 4 teams instead of 12. They wanted to run him out of town after he lost to Michigan, or many people did, after he lost to Michigan this year. Then they go on this magical run. They win the national championship. I think the fan base is waiting to turn on him. Yeah, EJ?
Twice Jim Harbaugh lost to Ohio State. They were in the top 4. So once they lost number 3, and it was a 2 versus 3 matchup. Another time they were number 4, and they lost a 4 versus 10 matchup. So they have had some stakes on those games in terms of Michigan having good seasons.
What year were they number 2 going to that game?
That was, I believe, his second year, I want to say, at Michigan. His second or first year. I just had the record up. He was, that was his, it was his first year.
What year?
Yeah, first year. Yeah, there were several years early on where they were very high in the rankings. Second year. So first year they were number 12, but second year they were number 3 and lost. And that was 2016. And in 2018, they were number 4 and lost. So they were right there in the college football playoff conversation and lost those games, and that knocked them out.
Right, and Jim Harbaugh was like on thin ice there, and then turned it around to win the national title. Right. And they lost, obviously, in the college football playoff to TCU. Right. Then come back, win the national title, and then he goes on to the Chargers. But we're not sure what it would be like in the aftermath. And Ryan Day now, again, that 1-4 record against Michigan, I think means a lot to a lot of people. And yeah, the national championship is awesome and will be celebrated, but that's also kind of the standard at Ohio State. That fan base feels like they should be winning all the time. And whether that's unrealistic, as you mentioned, it's harder to win now in college football. Easier to get into the playoffs, but harder to get through to the championship and win it. If they have anything that resembles a fall off, I think the fan base is ready to turn on him.
Oh, I don't. I think he bought a lot of time. I mean, first of all, he's created a behemoth of a program, too. Look at the guy. I mean, look at the talent that's coming in and out of there.
Yeah, but, Prof, that was true the day they lost to Michigan.
Yeah,
and they still wanted him out.
That's why I think they never really wanted to move off. I think inside they never wanted to move off Ryan Day because he's a good offensive coach. There's no doubt about that. And he's sort of figured out a way to keep that pipeline going even when he wasn't winning titles. So there's just, I don't know, like, you'd ask a question in the break, who's in better shape now, Ohio State or Michigan? I mean, it's no doubt Ohio State, right?
Well, I don't know, because Michigan could be looking at a really good year. I mean, if you're reading any, we'll see, because Bryce Underwood is very young, but they flipped that recruit. He was going to go to LSU, right? He was committed and then flipped. He's from right around there, so that can't be so shocking to Brian Kelly. But they may think they're ready to take off again. I just want to read one comment from the chat.
I'm here with my family.
YouTube.com/InfinitySportsNet and Twitch.tv Infinity Sports Network, where Pine Needle says they do not care about a watered-down championship victory. They care about, they being Ohio State, care about how he does against Michigan, and that is it. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that. I mean, Ohio State's the number one team in odds this year, and Michigan is 19th. And that's like, Jim Harbaugh, by the way, could have stayed for life. It's a much bigger deal in Michigan. Like, Michigan is not the team that in the last 30 years it competes for a title, or 20 years. It's Ohio State, right? And I think Ryan Day's proved, like, I'm going to keep that going. Last year they had an NFL team out there, and this year, except for quarterback, they have another NFL team. I mean, they got probably the two best players in the entire sport are in Columbus right now. So I just don't think you could ignore that. Like, Ryan Day gets credit for this. Like, it's not, you look at me like, well, he has, of course it's Ohio State. Why is Ohio State all of a sudden radically more talented than Georgia and Alabama? I think Ryan Day gets credit for that.
Well, as EJ's making the Johnny Manziel money side, I mean, but all these teams have money.
Well, the Texas schools have as much money as Ohio State.
I mean, yeah, but it was well documented that last year's roster for Ohio State.
Yeah, but that was also
they were taking guys from Ole Miss and taking guys from major schools. Alabama. Yeah. They were. I mean, that's a money thing, clearly.
But last year, but also all their veterans, they had all these guys stay. They were able to keep JTT. They were able to keep all their seniors.
A big part of keeping guys is
money.
Re-up in their
and
NIL
actually,
deals.
That's a Ryan Day thing. Yeah. Do you notice he does not give money, huge money to the unproven guys? It's more about roster retention.
Well, the funny thing is, they're not the highest spender this year, and they're still the national favorite. They're Vegas favorite to be the champion. And the Texas is spending a lot more than they are this year.
Yeah, but some of that though, respect for the national champion, reigning national champion. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, also, I just personally think you have Jeremiah Smith, who is like, he's unbelievable. Just throw the ball to him 50 times a game and collect the wins. But anyway, yeah, I just think that you guys are discounting Ryan Day. I'd bet Ryan Day stays almost as long as he wants to.
But if I ask you this question, Pearl,
yeah,
because this is a question I really wrestled with yesterday, is do you feel like Ohio State is now even Steven with Michigan because they won a title?
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't think anybody in Michigan thinks that. I think there are some people in Ohio who don't think that.
Because the last 5
because they keep losing
meetings,
to Michigan.
It's gone 1-4. Ohio State's been 1-4 in those.
Yeah, but I think Ohio State fans are feeling themselves right now. I think they're pretty happy with the program.
So you think they feel like they have the upper hand because they have the latest championship, but in terms of the rivalry, they are on shakier ground.
I mean, I have a good friend who's an Ohio State fan. They think that they're going to whoop Michigan this year. Because I also, too, because Harbaugh is gone. I think
we thought they were going to whoop Michigan last year. Michigan was down. They should have whooped Michigan last year, and they lost, and it was embarrassing.
I know. I mean, listen, Harbaugh's gone. I mean, Sharon Moore is a lot to prove. Even though they did beat him last year, again, like, I still think Ohio State thinks they're the big brother right now.
And Jim Harbaugh's gone, but they just landed this great football recruit. Like, they've got, Tom Brady making phone calls for them. Like, they're going to be able to still keep getting all this great talent, just like Ohio State.
But Ohio State's a juggernaut.
No, but it's not. I'm saying Michigan's not falling off, I don't think, in the recruiting. They had this amazing year, and guys came back, and they won the national title. But I don't think all of a sudden now we're going back to the Brady Hoke era. That would be my guess.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll be able to compete talent-wise with Ohio State. Did you think they're going to be better talent-wise than Ohio State?
I don't know. I think Michigan's going to be pretty good this year.
Sharon
Moore's got the suspension that he's got to deal with, but I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they're going to be a college football playoff team.
Yeah, I just think Ryan Day is probably a little better at this than Sharon Moore because Ryan Day's as good as anybody. I mean, he's bringing in a lot of talent. I mean, maybe it is just the money. Maybe you guys think it's just the money. I think why would Ohio State be able to outspend the entire world? I mean, like
their booster alumni situation is top tier. Not to say that other places aren't.
Yeah, I mean Texas.
But they're not. It's not. But they're not.
Georgia, like there's a lot of big programs.
But they're right there with all of them.
They're right there, but exactly. But they're better than all of them. I mean, they're the champion.
But no one was saying that, and if they had not expanded to 12 teams, they weren't even making the college football playoff. They benefited from an expanded playoffs because they could not beat Michigan, and they benefited from an expanded playoffs and went on a magical run.
I think Ryan Day is internally viewed a little differently than the public, too. I think they're like kind of happy, like, well, we got this guy. At least we know it's going to be like a certain level of success. To move on to him, like they have a single coach off the top of your head who would put them in a better situation.
Well, here's the question. Let me put it to you this way. How many can he lose in a row to Michigan before that would change your mind? Because he's lost the last 3 in a row. So how many more can he lose? If he loses the next 2 and now you're 1-6?
How's he do in the playoff? You have to tell me that's only part of the story.
What if they don't win another national championship in those next 2 years, that's not a hot take. It's really hard to do this in college football.
If he lost 5 in a row but got to another national title game?
6 in a row.
They lost 6 in a row, but he was in the final four.
I said 5 in a row. I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 in a row.
So if he kept getting to the final 4 in the playoffs, then he'd be fine.
Still, is that a lot to ask? You're talking about it's harder than ever to win a college football playoff.
Not when you have an NFL team in Columbus. No, it's not that hard.
Like, but when people start asking, why do you keep losing to this team if you're so good that you can keep making the Final Four?
The reality is that we knew this was going to happen. The 12-team playoff just sort of kills the rivalry to some extent. I think. I mean, listen, again, you want to face Ohio? Ohio State might lose to Michigan, but then they're going to get they're going to get a lesser team in the next round. Who's not going to play him as tough. Actually, it's like a batter on deck circle, like who puts the donut on the weight and is swinging. Like you get through that Michigan war, then you're ready to go against Clemson.
You know what I think might change this though, because you're right. They're much better in that playoff bowl type situation. But if this playoff does expand, you're talking about less time for those top seeds to maybe be sitting around getting ice or maybe just hearing about how great they are. Like they walked into Oregon, who have been hearing all the press clippings about how great they are. Talking about how they beat Ohio State last time, and I think they came in fat, and they just got run over by Ohio State team who was primed, ready to go. They just had a tough game against Tennessee. Tough team, not a tough game, against Tennessee the week before. If you go to 16, you don't have one of these top 1 to 4 seeds having these long layoffs while they're practicing getting ready for a playoff game. So that's really only 1 year away, right? Like we're talking about an expansion next year. So I wonder if Ohio State, like they kind of got fortunate in terms of the format actually working well for them, where it won't work so well for them in the following years when you don't have these long layoffs.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, remember, they definitely got a little bit. They had Chip Kelly last year handicapping them. So you saw the Michigan game. He was single-handedly killing that team.
Great Eagles coach.
Yeah, he was awful as the offense coordinator in that Michigan game. So I think they'll be better already. You guys sound, I'd love to do a massive show, but I think Ryan Day's there as long as he wants. You guys sound like he's gone.
No, I'm not saying he's gone. I just think at some point you're saying the rivalry is rivaled down, or the rivalry is watered down, and we're hearing from like Pine Needle and others in the chat are saying no, the championship is watered down. The rivalry is fine, and if at some point you can't just keep losing this particular rivalry, and if you keep losing, it doesn't hurt Michigan coaches the same way that it hurts Ohio State coaches.
And you know what, too? Like, we had this big argument last week about what's the biggest rivalry in college football, and everyone was saying, it's got to be Ohio State, Michigan. I don't think that you can say you're the biggest rivalry in football if your coach can lose every single year and it doesn't matter. You can't say that.
But there's a huge exception. There's a huge exception with them winning the national title, though. And that, again, sorry, if you want to take out the college football playoff and go the old system, then maybe you guys could fire Ryan Day.
But
no way that's happening.
But how many years do you get? Do you get 5 years, Ryan Day? Do you get 7? You get 15? You get, how long does the goodwill last if you keep losing to Michigan?
If you keep winning in the playoff as long as you want.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Who do you see as having the upper hand in this rivalry? These are the last 2 college football national champions. And you could say that it was, harder for Michigan to make the Final Four the year they did it, although it might have been harder to win the championship this past year because Ohio State had more games to play. So both, had their challenges.
Who did Michigan really beat, except for Ohio State? They beat Alabama with Jalen Milroe, turned out that team with Saban's like, get me away from this team. And then they beat Washington with Kellen DeBoer, who can't even win in Alabama. So
and
I don't know.
Michael Penix, who you think is going to be awesome in the NFL.
Yeah, but it's not like the Washington Huskies are the 1930s Notre Dame team. I mean, come on.
But you also don't give a lot of respect to Quinn Ewers. You don't give a lot of respect to, you like Oregon, I guess, but.
You guys think Ryan Day's going to get fired? I'm telling you, that dude is safe as possible.
Notre Dame and Riley Leonard. Who are these teams that Ohio State beat in the playoff? That was maybe I give you Oregon.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, they blew them out. Those other teams, though, Tennessee, Nico, they ran him out of town. I don't know. I don't see the paths as that much more harder.
No, but I'd love to do a show bet. Like, honestly, Ryan Day, I guarantee he could lose to Michigan 3 more times. If he will probably lose to Michigan and win another national title because it's easier apparently to win a national title than beat Michigan. But the other thing too, they'll probably be 10-point favorites this year and win this game. And this whole debate will be when you don't expect them to win, they're going to win.
The other, I think, funny thing that came out of this conversation is what is actually watered down, the rivalry or the college football playoff, which I didn't think we were going to have that conversation. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So again, Big Ten Media Day is getting underway today. Ryan Day will be at the podium along with some others. Michigan not until Thursday. Coming up, we have some new information about a very interesting relationship between a quarterback and coach. Plus, we're going to look at 4 NFL teams, and we'll tell you what's our expectation for them this season. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Perloff said it, but
Well, drunk Sam stumbled into work at night.
Maggie's rolling down the highway, feeling kinda rough. Last night's dinner, fighting back, oh man, it's getting tough. She grips her wheel, but it's too late, oh no, here it comes. Her Yeti Angel's holding water, now it's holding chunks. Oh, Maggie's puking in her car. Yeti bottle's gone too far. Her toothbrush ain't gonna make it through. Perloff's calling hazmat, man, it's true. She stumbles into the studio, trying to play it cool. Perloff takes one whiff and screams, this ain't in my job rules. He's climbing on the desk, he's spraying Lysol in the air. Says I need a full decontamination, get me out of here. Oh, Maggie's puking in her car. Yeti bottles, a biohazard scar. Toothbrush soaked in bleach all night. Perloff's in a hazmat suit and fright. Audio, he still ain't here. Probably at home, drinking a beer. WM's in a toxic state, but he's still on vacation, must be fake.
2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining.
Scrolling through the tube, watching Maggie and Perloff, getting in the groove. Found a viewer in the chat, his name's Delta 9 Brian. Spitting fire comments, he's the number 1 fan.
$15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, the Defensive Player of the Week is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. I got it this week. I finally got one. Although my timing might be off. I can't remember exactly when this happened.
Oh, great.
But we never talked about the Ronald Acuna throw from right field to third base. It was the craziest throw I've ever seen. Ronald Acuna, Atlanta Braves, right fielder, is going to be the Defensive Player of the Week. Bang. Look at Perloff with the baseball 4-1-1.
It's definitely not the WNBA All-Star game because there was no defense being played in that game, much like all the other All-Star games. The other basketball All-Star game. Did someone rob a home run? Suddenly, I got EJ's attention.
I'm not going to give her credit if that happens to be the one.
Somebody did last night.
Right. It's the guy from the A's again?
No, it's not. It's Lawrence Butler.
Oh, we'll give it to Maggie then.
Okay.
Give it to Bogusch. She's the one who got it. Is that it?
I saw it the last time I was sitting here. An hour ago, it was on the TV.
Yeah, I've been watching these highlights, and I think, but I thought it was a guy from the A's, and I just
I think they showed that.
It was just they assumed it was the same guy. Who is it, EJ?
Let's play the clip, Manny.
He clubs this one to deep left center field. Lawrence Butler on the run. He's still going back, slowing at the track. He leaps and he brought it back. Lawrence Butler brought the baseball back. In his first start in center field in quite some time, he more than makes up for the production, bringing the baseball back. Wow.
No, that's
full credit to Maggie there.
No, that's Bogusch. He's the one who had the name. I just said, did someone rob a home run?
Yes.
Well, that's better than the Acuna throw is like an all-time highlight.
Listen, the Acuna throw was amazing,
Yep.
and when you mentioned him, I was like, oh, man, I should probably give him more consideration. I almost tweeted about that. It's probably a tweet that saved in my draft, but he is a Brave, and I'm a Mets fan, so...
You can't let your biases get in the way, EJ. Not when it comes to something as important as Defensive Player of the Week.
Well, listen, it's not that, I would never pick a Brave, but if you're going to make it, you're going to have to do something that I've never seen before. And look, it's very possible. The things they do against the Mets usually boggles my mind, so it would not shock me if they do make it at some point.
Why didn't Viva slide into third base?
That was, that's a Yankee issue, too. The Yankees
God.
helped Queen with that play a little bit by not sliding.
Because the Yankees are one of the least fundamentally sound teams in Major League Baseball.
You got that right, sister.
And it cost them the World Series.
It's crazy. It's actually insane. So, I wanted to give Lawrence Butler some love. Similar to all you folks, I also thought it was the other guy from the A's that made the same catch. Another brother out there playing center field. There's a different brother playing center field, so I made that same mistake. But shout out to Lawrence Butler. You are the Defensive Player of the Week for last night. Robbing Kyle Higashioka home run.
Former
that
Yankee.
Was 106 miles an hour off the bat, and apparently would have went out of 22 ballparks, but not Globe Field because
Globe Life Field.
Globe Life Field. There you go. Because of Mr. Butler.
Great.
Who's the other guy who's patrolling center field for the A's?
Desmond something.
Yeah, I still remember the first
Desmond
name.
Ritter.
Don't remember the last name.
Kane? Something like that.
Huh.
Good
Wait, I have a
chat.
quick question. Is making a throw, that's a defensive play, right?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you're not using your glove. Okay.
I still think it's probably, to me, it's still the best defensive play that can be made on the field.
A throw? Apparently not, but yes.
Well, no, this play was better than Acuna's play. This play was amazing if you watch it.
Robbing a home run, I think, is the most impressive.
But
that's the most impressive defensive thing you can do.
What Rick Ankiel did in Arizona probably 15 years ago when he threw out two guys in a game and he was throwing the ball would have to have been 300 feet. That's still the craziest thing I've ever seen.
But he is a former pitcher, so he obviously has an amazing arm with amazing accuracy.
Right, but this is a guy who literally lost his accuracy pitching. So you would think that he would have be terrible accuracy, and turns out he
60
still had
feet
it.
6 inches, no. 300 feet.
So you guys are saying different things. You're saying it's robbing a home run, and you're saying that it's
I
the
still
throw.
A pinpoint throw.
Yeah, a pinpoint throw from really far is still the best play.
It's the best defensive play. I think it's robbing home run. Anyone else want to do like snagging something at short, like an
Ozzie Smith kind of play?
thing?
I really like short hops. You ever catch a short hop right, and you do a little twist twirl, and you throw on over to first. Oh gosh!
How about when Derek Jeter jumped into the crowd and the little glove flip thing?
That's my king. What a god.
Those are two different plays.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one where he went into the crowd, and got the bloody face, and the flip at home against the A's.
I don't know. Most overrated player in the history of baseball.
This is why I want to throw rocks at both of you guys.
Again, he caught it and then ran into the stands.
You try slowing down.
Okay.
You try running from shortstop all the way to short left field at 25 miles. That's an exaggeration. At 18 miles an hour, and you go ahead and try to stop yourself.
Tyreek Hill all
Get
of a
out of
sudden.
here.
5-year-old Manny was there with a radar gun.
Damn right I was. July 1st, 2004, baby.
He had 260 career home runs. 247 were to the short porch of right field of Yankee Stadium, right above the second baseman's head. That's the only reason the dude ever hit a home run.
How many rings did he end up, though?
Yes. That's the problem with Jeter, is that we can talk all that talk, and maybe because you didn't face him. Oh, no, you did face him as a Phillies fan. But
lost to him in the World Series.
But when you face that guy in October, that guy kills you. That's why I could never. I don't know. Bogusch is talking crazy. I will never talk crazy about Derek Jeter.
But he didn't kill us in the postseason. That was we were
the
in
guy you hate the most,
Matsui.
A-Rod.
Matsui just
Matsui won. Yeah,
yeah,
won
Matsui was
MVP that
crazy
year.
too.
My king. My
yeah, I
Japanese
can't talk
king.
crazy about Jeter ever because he just October will come. And
He's a biracial angel, guys.
How many kings do you have, by the way?
All of them.
Because you've got Bronson, I thought.
Yeah.
Then you just threw Jeter and Matsui in there.
That's right, yeah.
I don't think it works that
No,
way.
I think it goes pretty far down the list, too. Like, I think that somehow J.R. Smith became a king in one of these things.
You mean Earl? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Trent Grisham, are you kidding me? He's the king of mustaches. I'm second in command.
So now we've got categories of kings. That will be our August content.
Derek Jeter's the king of biracial angels.
Hideki Matsui, by the way. That's even I'm not a Yankee fan. That guy was cool.
Godzilla didn't make the cut for nicknames.
That's a hell of a nickname, Godzilla.
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't think he deserved to make it, but that's a good one.
Let's get to the NFL. EJ has 4 teams, and we're going to tell you the expectations for each one of them. We're going to do this quickly so we get to Bogusch and his headlines. A lot going on today. All right, EJ, let's make this fast.
Okay, let's go to Los Angeles. How about those Superchargers? Some nice uniforms they debuted recently.
I'll take it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chargers have to win. Not only do they have to win a playoff game, is the absolute basement. Justin Herbert has to be amazing in this game. I'm talking 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, more, 500 yards, 600, 7, 8, not 9, not 10. He's got to break records. It's got to finally pay off in the postseason with Justin Herbert having a great game. So bare minimum for the Chargers have to win a playoff game. Herbert has to look spectacular in that game.
So I agree. They have to take a step up and win a playoff game this year, but they're never going to throw the ball. They're going to learn their lesson for last year. That team just wants to. They got a Marion Hampton. They are going to be a run, maybe throw, run team. They're going to be like Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. There's no way they're ever going to open up this offense. I think Harbaugh is going to put his imprint on this team this year. We're going to really see Harbaugh's Chargers, and I agree they'll win a playoff game.
Come on, Daddy.
Okay, how about Chicago? A successful season for the Bears would be blank.
I think they have to sneak into the playoffs. I think a wild card entry and even a loss is totally fine. Caleb Williams will be in his second year. Ben Johnson, the new head coach, in his first year. I think nothing more than a wild card. And even 9-8 with signs of improvement in that brutal conference division would be acceptable, I think.
Yeah, you got to be in the hunt. In the CBS, NBC, Fox graphic, you have to still be in the hunt week 16. Even if they barely miss the playoffs, I don't think it's going to go down to some kind of disaster. This is going to be remembered probably as like year 1 of Caleb Williams, even though it's actually year 2. I think people are going to give him a kind of mulligan on last season because of Eberflus.
Like Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville.
Yeah. And although that hasn't worked out so great. But I think that just being in the hunt, considering the division, it's going to be fine.
I thought you might go a little more bullish on them, because I know, but they are loaded with talent. Like, they've spent a lot of money around Caleb Williams. They bolstered the line. They have players everywhere. So it's funny, we're both being a bit conservative, but I think realistic.
The Bears.
The Hawks. A successful season for the Seattle Seahawks would be.
The Atlanta Hawks?
Seahawks.
I think, again, barely in the hunt. I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, because here's the thing. It's my handicap because I'm not a Darnold person. And I didn't think the 14 wins last year really was a reflection of, oh, now here's the Darnold everyone's been waiting for. So I'm not that high on Seattle. So I would say my expectation for them, what would be successful, in the hunt, right around a playoff team. I'm not expecting them to make the playoffs and win a game. I'm really not expecting a whole lot. So just being in the hunt, to me, I guess would be successful. Pearl?
Yeah, I think I like this team a little bit more than you. The problem is the NFC is insane this year. There's about 14 wild card capable teams. I think this team is one of them. I think they have to start resembling the Ravens. If they have this new system there, the Pete Carroll days are gone. And I think that Mike McDonald's got to make sort of like an impact here. It's not really about Darnold. It's like, where is this team going? Like, because they've been kind of in limbo forever, right? Even back to the Pete days. So I think they got to start to become like a really tough team, a defensive-oriented team. He's got to make an imprint. Like, it can't just be the Pete Carroll leftovers. Otherwise, I think he could get fired. He better be 8-9, 9-8, and 10 wins, and they better be like a reflection of what the Ravens were.
Playoffs or no playoffs?
They don't have to make the playoffs, but they better be competitive and tough. Otherwise, I think they're going to be like, what are we doing here? What's the point of this? And then they draft a quarterback.
Okay, and last one here. Team we've been talking about a lot. A successful season for the Cleveland Browns would be...
I have mine. I think successful season for the Browns is they had 3 wins last year, okay? They were 3-14. I think a successful season is they double that at least, right? So we're looking at a 6-7 win team, and this is something that's completely out of their control. Somehow that Jacksonville pick ends up becoming the number 1 pick. I don't think they're going to be so bad that they end up losing and become the number 1 pick. I think it's going to look like they were the smartest guys in the room to trade with Jacksonville, even though Jacksonville gets Travis Hunter, and that's going to be fun, that if Jacksonville's really bad, that the Browns benefit from the draft day move. That's successful, and then they'll probably draft a quarterback with that. Or they'll definitely draft a quarterback.
The Browns start out with the Bengals, who are notoriously bad in week 1, but then they go to Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, at Pittsburgh. That's all playoff teams. It's going to be so hard to not have a 1-4 or 1-5 start that I think that you're going to get early to the tank here. So I think a successful season is 2-15.
And no doubt number 1 overall pick.
No doubt number 1. Okay. I just think the schedule's way too hard to win early. So what's going to happen is they're going to start off bad, and the playoffs are going to look out of sight. Then they're going to be like, well, we got to refocus our efforts to go to the young guys and build for the future. And unfortunately, in today's NFL, that means tank. I mean, they have to tank here because I don't think there's any scenario where they win 11 games.
Can I tell you how that backfires potentially?
Yeah, please.
So how that backfires is, what if either Dylan Gabriel or Shador, the two young guys are still on the team, and let's say that they actually look good, not great, but become this big fan favorite. We know the team has listened in the past to the fan favorite because they did not bring Joe Flacco back to compete with Deshaun Watson the year after Flacco took him to the playoffs. So we know their ears to the ground on the fan base. What if Gabriel gets some cool nickname and wins some Hail Mary game or leads them back or something? He becomes kind of cold hero, and they start saying, let's not make the same mistake we made with Baker Mayfield when we had something good in the building and we let it go. Then they get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And do they take a quarterback?
I said 2-15. How is Dylan Gabriel going to become a fan favorite if they win 2 games?
Because it's Cleveland, man, and everything's about moral victories.
I mean, come on. When does a 2-15 quarterback ever become a fan favorite?
Okay.
He might be like Tyson Bagent in Chicago. Like, you could be a fan favorite. Make him the backup. Dylan Gabriel will be perfect as a backup. There's no way. If you win 2 games, the fan base isn't going to be like, you got to bring that guy back.
Well, if he doesn't start until week 8, the failure is not going to be on him.
It's a good question, but I think you can keep Dylan Gabriel safely as a backup, especially if you win 2 games. That's why your 6 win, that's danger territory. Your prediction of possibly, not prediction, but expectation of 6 games, then you're in trouble. Then what if it's Shador? What if Shador looks good and you're 6 and then you're not drafting a quarterback and the whole thing's a failure?
The Browns will find a way to mess this up. Book that. Bogusch is here with headlines. What's up?
How about the Bengals bungling things once again? As you guys have discussed, owner Mike Brown sounded kind of optimistic yesterday about a new deal for Trey Hendrickson. But based on a social media picture this morning, Hendrickson is in Florida while his teammates are reporting to training camp not in Florida. Also discussed this morning, we are waiting to see how Michael Parsons handles the first practice at Cowboy training camp in Oxnard, California.
Michael Parsons.
He reported on time yesterday despite his desire for a mega extension, but actually getting on the field is another decision. Shohei Ohtani pitched 3 innings last night, allowing 1 run on 4 hits. He also had a 2-run homer. The Dodgers broke their 6-game home losing streak 5-2 over the Twins. The Phillies topped the Red Sox 3-2-10 on catcher's interference, the first game to end that way since 1971.
You remember that day, Bogusch?
Not that old.
I mean, would you really accept a win when you win like that?
Yes.
Hey, by the way, Bryce Harper's starting to hit again. And I don't say that because of the Phillies, because I have him in my home run derby team. Maybe everyone's scared of Perloff's team. We're doing a in-show home run derby, and I have Schwartz and Harper. It's getting warm in Philadelphia. Anyone want to trade for him?
No. Not even close.
No, I'm good.
How about Edmundo Sosa?
Man, why? Why does my team stink?
I'm still in single digits.
Are you really?
Oh, my God.
It doesn't. It
terrible.
doesn't matter. You can complain all you want. I am in last by a large margin. I'm the Rockies of this operation.
Yeah, but they're trying to lose.
Who's on
you
your
were
team?
trying to win.
Well, my big pick was Yordan Alvarez, and he has like -3 home runs in one hand.
Did you also have Gunnar Henderson?
Yeah, and I think I've got Alonso.
Oh, Alonso's.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like he has 18. I think Gunnar has 9 or 10, and Alvarez has 2.
Oh,
yikes! That bad?
It's not good, Manny. It's not good.
Sorry, can I just share real quick? Because Manny took Mike Trout, right?
Yes, I did.
There's the front page headline. I was in Philadelphia this week on the Inquirer Sports. Will Mike Trout be playing well enough to come home to Philadelphia for next year's All-Star game? Because they're hosting the All-Star game.
They are.
Man, slow news day in Philly.
Absolutely. But not only that, like Mike Trout's basically a Philadelphia legend playing somewhere. It's just weird.
Mount Olympus.
Yeah. I know. Is he South Jersey?
Didn't make L.A.
Can he just become a Philly? I mean, obviously, Philadelphia's more interested in this guy than L.A.
Well, he didn't want to come to Philly because he signed a $500 million deal in L.A.
Pay that?
I mean, I watched him go up against Edwin Diaz yesterday, and he looked like he was just a fish out of water. I mean, if you want him,
why?
He might be cooked. And I feel good
just
saying
old
that.
or hurt or what?
Both. He's not that old. Like I watched that at bat where I think Diaz might have struck him out on like 3 pitches, and he just looked lost and looked like he had no shot. And I was like, how old is this guy? And I think he was like 33, I think, or whatever. I'm like, Aaron Judge is hitting like 60 home runs, and he's 33. Like, why is he so?
Well, because he's been so hurt.
I know, and it's really tough. Because then I was like, man, like, did I forget how good Mike Trout was? And I looked at this baseball card. I'm like, oh no, look, 10 WAR, 9 WAR, 9 WAR, 10 WAR, 11 WAR. I'm like, these numbers are insane, but he was doing it on a team that just had no chance to win. It's one of the worst sports tragedies.
Thanks for ruining Mike Trout, Los Angeles Angels.
Listen, Shohei got the heck up out of there. Like he's the one who decided to keep re-signing. You know, he wanted to take the money and not play for a better team. At some point, you earn that free agency. Do something with it. He's about to be 34.
You know how many seasons in he's in though?
Yeah, he's got a little more mileage than Judge does.
13 years.
Right, because Judge didn't get here until he was 27, right?
He was old,
Yeah.
Judge is 32 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
See, it was a relevant headline, not a slow news day.
Next year's All-Star game? All right, pump the brakes.
I mean, he looked like Manny doing BP up against
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But he also did have one of the weirdest slides ever. He was coming home on a play, and he just basically slid like off the exit ramp and never went near home plate, and they tagged him out.
That was weird too.
I was kind of burying the lead there. I talked to my parents. We're gonna host a big party. EJ, Manny, Maggie, we are all going to the Philadelphia All-Star game next season.
Sounds right.
And we aren't forgetting anybody on the show. Bogusch.
They're all going.
Jokes aside, that home run derby is going to be awesome.
I know.
Because that is a sandbox.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, the 4 of us are going to have a blast.
Yeah, we are.
We don't have to wear diapers, though, right?
Optional. Fun if you want.
Optional.
That's just the Chicago road trip, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some body armor in case some battery get thrown.
Yeah.
It's Philadelphia, you know.
Don't wear your Mets stuff.
No.
For me, like a twisted pretzel.
It's got a soft pretzel, not a twisted
Whatever.
pretzel.
Yeah.
All pretzels
What are
are
you talking about?
twisted.
No.
That's why we don't bring you anywhere, Bogusch.
The braided ones,
Oh.
those are Phillies. I feel like those are Philly
Could be.
specific.
Oh, the braided, like the Wawa ones?
Yeah.
Oh, we went to WrestleMania in Philadelphia. We were all dressed up. That was a really fun day. It was also an extremely long day.
And cold.
And cold.
Were you there, Manny?
I was not, but
Okay.
I remember. I listened to my friends.
It was fun. Gallo was there with us that day. We went deep down the depth chart before we got to Bogusch. You can't edit video though, or maybe you can. But it was a long day. I stopped at Wawa on the way home. I got 2 of those braided pretzels because I was so hungry.
Oh,
They're great.
wow.
You get a hoagie? You got to get a hoagie.
I did. I didn't love the hoagie.
Uh-oh.
What?
Those are fighting words.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Listen,
Oh, my
Okay.
gosh.
bring it.
Drink your
I know
puke
a
up.
sandwich, okay?
I'm sorry because it's so in-house. I was at a rest stop in New Jersey this weekend. I got a text from a coworker of all of ours saying, I was in line at Auntie Anne's. And I thought I saw you, but I didn't want to get out of line to come say hello. Can you guys
true?
guess? Totally true story.
Wait, you were online at Auntie Anne's?
No, I was walking in the bathroom. He was online. It's a he.
Oh, I'm
Was
sorry.
online at Auntie Anne's
I
and
have a
didn't want
guess.
to. What's that?
I have a guess.
Okay.
One Zachary Gelb.
That does sound like Gelb to go to Auntie Anne's.
It does.
In
And
Jersey?
Gelb would be on the northeast
I'm thinking
quarter
it
going
to me.
God
Exactly,
knows where.
back and forth.
He also wouldn't have passed up the opportunity to talk to you. He would have gotten off. Gelb would have left the
Gelb
line,
will talk
said,
to anybody.
Hold my spot, I'll be back.
Yeah,
He went
Gelb
to
would have
find
had
you,
to talk.
taking a
Listen,
picture.
we're all radio hosts. We all like to talk, guys.
But this person is associated with Zach Gelb.
Stewie?
Samter?
Yes.
Big Mike Samter
Wow.
ran into me at a rest stop and did not get out of the Auntie Anne's line to come say hello. Our former producer of the Maggie and Perloff show, who's now the producer of the Zach Gelb show, texted me as I'm getting in the car. Were you just at the rest stop, the Woodrow Wilson rest stop?
This tracks.
Samter, I put my tongue in that thing.
He wasn't working, and he was eating.
He was at Auntie Anne's. He's an adult, by the way. It wasn't for his kid. The kid
Kid's
was
a
nowhere to
baby.
see.
Yeah, it's still a baby. That's amazing. Samter didn't get out of line. Now,
Yeah.
Auntie Anne's is
Delicious.
fire,
Yeah.
but wouldn't get out of line. We've gone to multiple states with
Yeah.
Samter. We've traveled extensively with him. We're friends.
Well, here's the thing. He's like,
he could have.
okay.
No.
Here's how I know he was lying too. He's like, I wasn't sure it was you. Does anybody at a rest stop look like me?
Yeah, come
Well,
on.
just the actor. Just mince floss. That's it.
I saw
Chris, no, he doesn't look a thing like me.
If it
It's
had been
either
Vince
McLovin
Klotz,
or
Samter would have
McLovin.
ran.
I saw Perloff on a meme page on Instagram and immediately saw it and said, "That's Perloff. That's Perloff."
You can see me. You can see a yeah. Obviously, nobody looks like me, for better or worse.
Manny picked
Mostly
Perloff
worse.
out of a. How many people were at the soccer match that day?
76,000.
Yeah, that video.
It was like a
Yeah.
needle in a haystack that you found, Perloff.
Yeah.
Samter didn't even recognize you at the Clara Barton rest stop.
No, he recognized me. He just had his mind on those Auntie Anne's, and I understand that.
Oh yeah, no, he had to play. He had to no sell it, so he's like he had to pretend like he didn't
Yes.
know it was you. So
Yes.
he's like, "That was you, right?" Because if he said, "Hey, I saw you at the rest stop," and you said, "Why didn't you say hi?" He would have had no answer. So
Also-
he had to say, "Oh, that was you, I think," right?
What's your Auntie Anne's order?
Simple pretzel, no salt. Not a salt guy.
What are the nuggets called?
The pretzel nuggets, I think.
Pretzel
is-
nuggets.
Oh,
yeah.
those are so
really good.
With the cinnamon or not?
Sans cinnamon because I'm a health nut.
Okay.
See, I do the
okay.
cinnamon sugar
Smart.
because if I'm at Auntie Anne's, I'm going for it.
I
I'm
want to
not
go
all
halfway.
about-
Diet pretzel
Go
sort of
halfway.
thing.
I'm not
I'm-
counting calories when I'm
I'm
at
partial to their pepperoni pretzel.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
All right.
Delicious.
We all just drifted off into a dreamland there thinking about that. Auntie too. Lots more to do, including we will tell you the one NFL team that is poised for a big drop-off this season. Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Perloff Show. All right, Perloff, I was going to ask you, which NFL team do you expect to have a drop-off this upcoming season from where they were a year ago?
Yeah.
Who would be your
choice?
choice?
I think I'm going to go chalk a little bit, and this is going to sound mean because I really love the coach and I love most of the team, but I don't know about the quarterback, and I think you know where I'm going.
Yep.
Eagles.
No. Well, that's possible too. But the Minnesota Vikings, is this a hot take? They won 14 games last year. Are they going to be closer to 9 games this year? I would expect so. I think they are very, very talented, and there is a window where they repeat last year. There's a possibility if J.J. McCarthy is all that they're just as good as last year. I just think that that's a lot to ask. Not that Sam Darnold was a world beater, but he's experienced. He'd come out of Kyle Shanahan the year before, knew Kevin O'Connell's offense pretty well. J.J. McCarthy's never done this at the pro level. I think they're an obvious candidate to circle for going down in wins, and I think Vegas agrees the same thing. Last year was a high regular season mark. No way does that happen again.
Throw it, man!
I'm with you on that. I'm fading the Vikings as well, but it's a good choice.
But by the way, I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're falling apart to like 5-12. That they have just too many talented players. Justin Jefferson, their defense is really good, potentially elite with Brian Flores. But I think back to the pack makes sense.
I'm right there with you, but their offensive line is good. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a 2-win season, nothing like that. They're too good for that, but not 14 wins, no way. Mine team that's going to fall off here, and I am fading this team, partly because I'm fading the public, partly because I'm fading Perloff. The Washington Commanders, I do not think are a 12-win team next year, and I love Jaden Daniels too.
The Commanders,
but I'm not sure that rolling with this many aging stars and having to count on this many dudes who are on the wrong side of 30. They're all back, and they're all 1 year older.
Wow, Jaden Daniels. And they brought in a new one, and Debo, who I don't even know if he's 30, but his body's like 50.
Yeah, and by the way, like I know Adam Peters was the former GM or assistant GM, right, in the 49ers. So obviously there's a connection to Debo Samuel, and he's now in Washington. But let's not get our feelings in the way, because sometimes Debo's not even a great locker room guy. He almost got into a fight with a long snapper last year, right? So it's not even like, hey, we're bringing in the guy who's just going to be amazing for the locker room. Like, I don't know. He wants his touches.
But he also won a ton of games. You could see that intensity might be viewed as a good thing.
I didn't think they were lacking in that last year, but that's just me. Dan Quinn, I think, is a great coach, but they also won a lot of games by the skin of their teeth last year. I think there was 5 games they won by 1 score, and that you tend to go back to the pack on that. What do they call it? Like regression to the mean. Right. So I'm going to go with Washington. The NFC is stacked, and I am not predicting a 12-win season. And I think we're going to be like, oh man, that second year can be the greatest thing in the world for a quarterback, and that can, the bar is so insanely high for Jaden Daniels after going to the NFC Championship game. I could see a step backwards.
Yeah, I can't get on the same page with you. I mean, they have a good head coach in Dan Quinn.
Yep.
They have a great play caller in Cliff Kingsbury. I said it, great. They have I'm assuming Terry McLaurin is there. They have a lot of talent on the edges here. They have a good defense. You're right, very old.
Yeah.
But they have the potential for a good defense. I mean, solid. Because of Dan Quinn. I believe in Jaden Daniels so much. If he's healthy, I cannot see them falling off dramatically. I think they're a playoff team. Wow, Jaden Daniels.
The story coming out of D.C. this morning was Terry McLaurin is willing to do by all means necessary to get this contract. So he's obviously not backing down. And you're saying you assume he'll be there. Okay, but, let's get him there first. They're still going to be relying on Zach Ertz. And then you got Marshawn Lattimore on defense, Bobby Wagner on defense. They just signed Von Miller.
Yeah, bring it on. I love all these old guys. Bobby Wagner, by the way, that guy is not aging at all.
Well.
I love Jaden Daniels. It's a quarterback-driven league. Just amazing. If he was like that as a rookie, give him a whole offseason. Can you imagine?
Well, he also was a little banged up this season. To his credit, got through it. But, those concerns still exist with him being a running quarterback. So that's
guy threw for 300 yards a game in the playoffs. I mean, he beat a good Tampa Bay team. He beat a great Detroit team.
Well, he beat a great but very beat up Detroit team.
He was a 10-point underdog and led them past the Lions, who won 15 games.
It was a phenomenal, but that defense was not the same as it was all year. Anyway, we got to go. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, Weedo's Coffee Drinkers. We'll pick this up tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern.